Disclaimer, the podcast contains adult themes, adult dialogues, and spoilers. Our opinions are just that, opinions. We're not bashing any of the creators we discuss, and we are not bashing you if you perceive things differently than us. Listeners and viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, welcome to Story and Things, a storytelling podcast. I'm your host Yajaira.
And I'm your host Cheli.
And we are doing something that has literally blown up all over the internet.
I like how every episode we start is always like, we're doing something.
God, I don't know
it's something big. Trust me, you're gonna love it.
Trust me, I love it. That's what matters.
Yeah, we're doing Squid Game today. Mm-hmm. A popular Netflix, it's Netflix made it, right?
Yeah.
Well, a company made it, but it's under Netflix's name.
Yeah.
But we will be talking about Squid Game.
Mm-hmm. It's somebody showed a chart of like the most popular shows. I don't know if it was just like of all time or just on Netflix.
Yeah.
Squid Game was like up here.
It's up there. I think it's beaten like a lot of all-time faves.
It definitely beat The Witcher.
Was The Witcher up there?
Yeah, The Witcher was like up there. I didn't know.
Oh my gosh. I'm not surprised though. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. Everyone, even my mom, she was like, because the first time I watched it with my little brother, and then the second time was with my parents. Mm-hmm. And before I watched it with my parents, I was trying to convince them, like, let's do this. Like, we got to watch it before someone spoils it for you. And my mom was like, by the way, your dad saw it on the news.
Oh
like, gosh. It was a big deal.
On what? It was on, oh my gosh, what's Telemundo.
Was it Telemundo? I don't know.
Despierta América.
It might have also been TikTok. I don't even know. My dad's always
TikTok.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But they said it was on the news, so one or the other.
Oh my gosh. The first time I heard of it was through Niles. It was a lot.
Thank God I watched it when I did, because I swear to you, the next day, everyone was making fan arts.
Yeah, hella spoilers too on TikTok.
I know.
People don't care.
They don't even tag it.
No one tags their spoilers anymore.
They're like, if you haven't seen it, that's your fault.
How did you feel about the hype?
I loved it.
Really?
I think it's like warranted. Well, okay. So remember when Parasite popped off?
Yes.
Which you haven't seen yet, but like,
no.
Whatever. When Parasite popped off, people were having such mixed views about the popularity, right?
Yeah.
Like they were like, well, you can't even understand it. It's like, well, hello, there's subtitles, so it's fine. Even when Squid Game popped off, I don't know if you saw this like tweet that kind of went viral.
Which one?
Where it was like, I don't know it verbatim, but it said something along the lines of, oh, it's because Netflix is paying people to watch it. And then somebody else quote tweeted it and said, you guys are only skeptical when it's not American.
Yeah.
That's the only time you
I
guys
saw that tweet.
You did?
I did see that tweet.
It's true though. Like,
yes.
People only react this way when it's not American.
And the thing is though, I don't hate the hype it's getting because I feel like it deserves the popularity that it's getting. It's good. I just don't like the young audience. I don't know, the view of the young audience that's watching it.
I don't think about the young audience.
I do. I think about it a lot.
So I don't care.
What young audience?
Well, I mean, I feel like people should be free to make whatever they want, and they don't have to think about the children.
I kind of just hate hearing kids talk about it. That's my only thing. But other than that, I love the show so much. I love the ending.
No, I get it. I feel like it would be annoying hearing their perspective, their childlike perspective. Like, shut up. You don't even know. Do you know what capitalism is? Shut up.
And the little kid's like, yeah, I actually do know what capitalism is.
I live here. Hello. Okay, so we haven't done any episodes on series, have we? I don't think we have.
No. Except for Banana Fish.
Oh, you're right.
But that was one of our longest episodes.
This one is probably going to be really friggin' long.
You even said that it was going to be long, and I'm ready.
I'm so ready to dissect this freaking show. So the way that we are going to structure it is we're going to start off by just saying a brief summary of the whole point of the show. Okay. And then we're going to go episode by episode. And then by the end, I want to go through some theories.
Okay.
Because people
that
are
sounds fun.
hella going through some theories.
Yeah, I heard a few.
I didn't write them all just because there's a lot. And some of them I feel like are a little bit of a reach. But like,
Okay.
it's fun though. I think it's fun.
Do you want to start us off then?
Yes. So what is Squid Game? So the show takes place in South Korea. It's basically a survival contest between 456 players. They're all different people. They come from different backgrounds, but they are all in incredible debt.
Yes.
And the contest is basically made up of 6 different children's games. And through each of the games, if the players don't win, they basically lose their lives. So they are playing for 45.6 billion won, which converts to 38,288,599
Oh my god.
dollars and cents, but like who cares about that? It's like 97 cents, so we could have just rounded up. But that's basically the premise. I know. I mean
I know.
Am I down?
I didn't convert the money at first, so you saying that, I'm kind of like,
well, damn.
I'll be right back. I'll be back in 6 days.
I'll be back in 6 days. Yeah, it's a lot of money. So did you not convert it at all when you were watching it?
No, but it looked like a lot of money. They had a piggy bank in the middle
the
of
piggy
the
bank?
little dorm they were in.
Thick.
It was. It was funny because the first time they fill it is a lot of money. But because it only filled the bottom, I was like, come on. I know.
Even though that piggy bank was huge.
Yeah.
My mom, okay, I promise we'll start. But like my mom, when at the end, she was like, well, what are they going to do? Are they just going to like drag that piggy bank everywhere? Like, what are they going to do with it? She didn't know. They would have put it in the car.
You know how like when you go to an arcade and you have to turn in your tickets? There's just like that one triangle guy. He's like, oh my gosh. And he's just like putting it in.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I thought this was like a thing for PlayStation because of the triangle.
Yeah, the logo. Oh my god.
Okay, so let's start episode 1, Red Light, Green Light.
Red light, green light. So our story starts with our main character. There's a lot of main characters. Or no, sorry. I don't want to trigger you. Deuteronomy.
No, shut up. No, in the first episode we were just introduced to one.
Which is Gi-hun.
Gi-hun, yeah.
And he is a single father of a child and basically lives with his mom. And you can tell right away that he is not smart with his money because it's his child's birthday. And his mom is like, go get her some fried chicken. Because you know how she likes that fried chicken.
Korean fried chicken apparently
It's really
slaps.
good. Have you had it?
No.
It's really
You've
good.
never gone.
Yeah. No, not to Korea. I've just had Korean styled fried chicken here, like in LA.
I'm pretty sure it like hits
It's different. Yeah. It's like how McDonald's hits different in Mexico. Anyway.
Not the point of this episode.
They give queso fresco, but
I thought
whatever.
you would have said like Mexican Coke.
Oh my gosh, coca? Hell yeah. Okay, but
different.
anyway, he is not smart with his money. As soon as he's given this money and he says it's not enough, he ends up taking his mom's credit card or debit card
I think it's her credit card.
and takes out money to go to the horse. What are they called? Horse racing.
Yeah, he is gambling, not even his own money, his mother's money.
And he makes hella.
Well, he loses the first.
At first.
Yeah.
But he makes hella back. And you know what's good? He even told the lady at the racetrack place, is like, here, keep this. Get an Americano. For you. For me to you.
Not even.
Yeah,
It was
he
like,
does.
I know, but it was like what? I don't know how much it converts, but it was probably like nothing.
No, yeah.
What, $10?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But he immediately...
We should also say that he doesn't have a job, but his mom alludes to him being a chauffeur. Or
yeah, he is a chauffeur.
No, but like it's not like a...
He probably does like on and
Uber,
off.
you know what I mean? Like,
so not something that he goes to on a daily basis.
He doesn't dress up or anything. It's
Yeah,
just like,
exactly. But he loses all this money as soon as he gets it because he's in so much debt that there are these loan sharks that are like, hey, where's our money?
Yeah.
And
apparently he owes hella.
Yeah, he owes hella. And the thing is, when they asked him for the money, right before that, he had crashed into someone and lost the money.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we can get into later. But basically, the loan sharks make him sign an agreement that if he doesn't get the money in a month, then he will owe them an eye and
a kidney.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, and he's like, I promise I'll get it back to you. But it's a lot of money that he owes to them. Which, how did he plan on doing this at this time?
Some people just keep falling into debt, though. That's how it goes. Like, as soon as you're in debt in one thing,
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle, and it's hard to get out of. So I sympathize with him, because even from that episode, he still goes to see his daughter.
Instead of just buying her a gift, he's gambling to get her a gift.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
It's like he goes to a claw machine, and it's like, I feel like it's a symbol that I'm not connecting yet.
I guess he's just into the game. Because if you're not strong enough to play the game, why are you in the game?
Why are you in this game? I guess. But it's just interesting to me that even to get his daughter a simple birthday gift, he could have
bought and still had more money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He could have gotten anything for her. I'm sure she would have appreciated it. But he literally went to a claw machine and was like trying to gamble.
Which sucks, because he lost a lot of money. He only won because a boy was watching, and he was like... Check this out.
The boy was like, "You're overthinking it."
Yeah.
And so the boy had to pretty much win a gift for his daughter, or for Gi-hun's daughter.
Which, by the way, the gift sucked, because they went...
Excuse me?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It was efficient.
It came in handy.
So basically, he goes to eat with his daughter at like this... It looks like a food stand. Basically, like a side...
Like street food?
Yeah, street food. Tteokbokki?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It looked like a sausage, right?
Tteokbokki, because those are rice cakes. I think they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they were having this, which is, if you've ever had it, kind of like not fast food, but like not really good for you.
It's not like a healthy meal.
Yeah. And he gives his daughter the gift, and it's a gun lighter.
Yeah, but it was in a box,
Yeah.
which the box, it looks like something that we're going to see later.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I'm learning a lot of things from you. We haven't seen each other in a month. So.
Yeah, exactly. The daughter wanted to tell him something, but she didn't end up telling him. Once he drops off his daughter, he goes to the subway station, and he's sitting there
feeling defeated.
And that's when a man in a suit with a briefcase sits next to him, and he opens up his briefcase, and it has like a lot of money. And then it has it's not an envelope. It's like the red and blue like squares.
Yeah, they're papers basically,
but it's like thick.
Yeah, because it's a Korean game to like get paper, fold it into those squares.
And then you're supposed to like throw it really hard on the ground to try to flip your opponents.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the guy was like, "You want to play? You know, you could win some money." And so he ends up playing reluctantly at first. But he was like hella losing.
Yeah, he was. But the reason he was so motivated was because he was told that he would get money back.
Right.
And it's funny because the other guy was like, "Oh, but if I flip it, you owe me money." And the first time that Gi-hun loses, he is like, "I have no money." And the other guy is like, "Oh, well, it's okay. I'll slap you in exchange." And he goes hard. That's like
smacks him.
That felt like a thick slap. Like, I don't know how to explain that.
That felt personal.
Yeah. I got offended.
Yeah, but okay, so eventually he ends up winning, okay? And then once he's counting all of his money, Gong-yu, that's the actor's name, he asks him, he tells him, "Well, you know, you could win more money if you wanted to join this contest."
But isn't it kind of funny? Did you notice that after he won once, he was so ready to slap him?
Yeah,
like,
he
forgot
about the money. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute, right? Because he's like, "Oh, my turn
honestly,
to slap you."
I know. He was getting ready to. But honestly, isn't it kind of like, I don't know how to say it, like dehumanizing? Like after getting slapped so many times to be given like a few billetes, like a few bills, and being like, "Oh, I forgot that's why I was doing this."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it was also because he had lost so many times that he had forgotten the initial point of this game was for him to win money. Mm-hmm. But you're right.
Yeah, he's basically told, like, there's a way that you can win a lot of money.
So much more than this. And it's just playing more games. Yeah. Like, how fun is that?
I was, like, so excited. Like, oh, my gosh, yes, I love games. Like, I'm in already.
I'm always playing
I'm on the train already. Come with me.
Train to Busan.
I know. And then that's where the Train to Busan starts. Can I bring my daughter?
Oh, my God.
She comes with, like,
I have a daughter,
Nintendo
too.
Wii.
They both have daughters.
I know, they both have daughters. They both come with Nintendo Wiis. No, one with the Nintendo Wii and the other one with, like, the lighter gun.
Oh. I love
I
that.
haven't watched Train to Busan in a long time. I miss it.
It's really good. Right? Gong-Yu's character hands him the business card. But at first, Gi-hun isn't down. He's like, nah, not interested. This is good enough for me. Because he already knows the gambling life, right?
Yeah.
He knows he's going to be burned. But it doesn't change until he goes back home and his mom tells him that his daughter and the daughter's mom and the stepdad are moving to America.
Yeah. And he is so defeated about it. But the mom's like, you can still win her back if you can prove that you have enough financial stability to support your daughter.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's what drives him to go.
Yeah, because he wants to have shared custody, but he doesn't have a job, so he can't.
So he calls the number on the card and they ask him for his information. And then they're
His
like,
birthday,
yeah,
full name.
yeah. And then they're like, okay, meet us at this place. And, you know, just a chill and vibe there. We'll be there for you.
They tell him the what is it called? The password.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Red light, green light.
Yeah.
The password. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I'm in.
Uh-huh.
And he gets into the car. I think it's kind of funny because he gets in and he's like, we're all sleepy or what? What's going on here? Why are you dressed like that?
Everyone behind him was knocked out.
Yeah.
He was like, damn, everyone was sleepy in this van, in this creepy van.
What if they didn't? Because they end up turning on gas to like basically like knock him out.
And the guy who's driving is wearing a gas mask.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be funny if he just got on? He's like, I'll follow their lead. He's just like, you don't got to do anything to me. I'll go to sleep.
You don't have to drug me or anything. I'm
No,
sleepy.
I'm good.
I took some melatonin.
He brings like the eye covers. Like, good night.
This the mask over the eyes. That's funny. I love that. That would have been cute.
gosh.
That's so his character.
That's his character. So he is drugged and all of a sudden wakes up dressed in like a tracksuit. In a green tracksuit with the number 456 on it. And he's confused because he's in a room with a lot of people that have this tracksuit with different numbers on it. He's like, what the fuck? I was just in a car having the time of my life with my new besties and now I'm here.
It's like, why is this old man here?
Yeah.
He the first person he meets essentially is an old man who we don't know his name yet, but he's the first player. He has the number 1 on him. The viejito, yeah.
The viejito.
And the viejito's like counting and he's telling him like he has dementia or he has to count.
He says
to battle
that he's counting to see how many people there are. And then Gi-hun looks up and he's like, it says 456 up there. And he's like, oh no, I have to count because my doctor said it's good for my dementia.
Oh, yeah.
To count.
Oh, yeah, because the players are already marked on the top. Like, it looks like what are they called? They have some in school. What are they called?
The counters? I know what you mean.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they basically have like a huge like
sign
digital counter of how many people are in there, which is 456.
So he's the last player.
Which is funny, but yeah, he notices that he's 456 and that the old man is number 1.
Yeah.
So it's
he's
just
like,
kind of
oh my god, you were the first to join. I was the last to join.
Oh my god. Do you see this connection?
Besties, exactly. At this point, the guards show up, and the guards basically are just dressed in like what, pink jumpsuit, or it's like a red,
Pink reddish
jumpsuit, and then they have a mask in front of their faces, and it's either triangle, circle, or square.
Yes.
And the basic bitches are the circles, apparently.
God.
And then the triangles are the ones above, right?
And then square is the most important.
So it's the triangle that's like explaining that they're all here because they're all in massive debt. And he explains that does he explain that there's 3 rules?
No, he's basically like, okay, you're all in debt. We're all going to play a game. You know, it's for money. And then one guy goes off on him and he's like, why should I listen to you? Like, you took all of our stuff. You took our phones, anything that we can use to call for help, and you expect us to trust you that you're actually going to give us money? And he hella calls this dude out. He's like, excuse me?
Bitch.
I'm not the one who's maxed out all my credit cards and I'm in awful debt.
He shows their bank statements.
I
He's like,
know.
look, bitch, you bought Popeye's every single day. Are you
Every
crazy?
single day. You're in debt $36,000 and you've only been shopping at Popeyes?
It's not even that good,
God.
sir.
Oh my gosh, but he hella read them. He was like showing the videos of them getting slapped too.
Yeah, because apparently they recorded that.
Oh my gosh, honestly, that's so embarrassing. Like seeing
Yourself
if I
get
was
slapped.
there, yeah, like seeing just for me to make a little bit of like chump change. So I'm like, goddamn.
You got me.
You got me.
Hard
Stop.
times. Right. And so, but then we realized that Gi-hun's childhood friend is there, Sangwoo. But we had already kind of heard about Sangwoo because Gi-hun met up with his mom.
Because his mom,
Sangwoo's mom
works at a marketplace that is going towards his house. But it's weird seeing Sangwoo here because he was told to be like this.
He was
college, like smart kid.
He
working
went to a
business.
Yeah, he went to a really good university.
He's a lawyer apparently, but he's here, and
Gi-hun doesn't say anything to him at this
no,
point.
they kind of just look at each other. They're
Like,
just kind of like,
hey, bro.
and he's just like,
Don't look at me. Hard times, bro.
But then they're introduced to 3 rules that they have to follow.
Yeah, so they have to sign a contract first. But there's only 3 rules, which you would think they'd be like at least 100. So the first rule is a player is not allowed to stop playing. Number 2, a player who refuses to play will be eliminated. And number 3, games can be terminated if the majority agrees.
Yes.
Which is important.
Yes, it is important. And everyone is down. Everyone's down at this point.
Gi-hun, he's like hesitating, but I think when he sees player number 1, the old man, the old man's just like signing away like he doesn't even care. Oh, by the way, apparently the old man was battling a tumor, right?
Oh, he has a tumor and he's dealing with dementia.
Yeah.
And he's been told that he doesn't have much time left.
Yeah, so that's why he's like, whatever.
Honestly, I would be scoping up my players, seeing that guy like walk back slowly to his bed. I'm like, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this.
He's like, these are all wimps. God.
They're taken to their first game, which is red light, green light. And if you've never played that game, it is when someone is standing really far away and there's like a starting line and a finish line. When they say red light, you stop and they look around, they turn around. And if any of you are moving, you're out.
Yeah.
But when they are explaining this game to all of the characters, they say you will be eliminated when you lose. And they're kind of like, okay, what a weird way to phrase it, but I'm still kind of down because that viejito is on his last leg and I'm ready. I'm ready to destroy that viejito because they have basically this distance they have to go and you have 5 minutes to reach the end.
Yeah, you have to reach the end.
And there's this huge ass doll that's like the one who's like facing the tree, singing the song that is like red light, green light. And so the game starts and everyone's in a good mood. Everyone seems like, because there's like these 2 like not important characters that's like, I'm gonna beat you. Oh, I'm so good at this game. I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, I remember. I felt bad for them, you know?
Yeah.
Well, because since it's a children's game, everyone was so like, this is it? This is the game? Psh, I'm gonna win this.
Yeah.
But
by the way, too, they're playing this game knowing they're gonna win money, but not how much money they're gonna win.
yeah, because one of the guards, or the triangle guard, said that they would find out after the first game.
So they start playing, and everyone's just normal playing the game. But as soon as they say red light, one guy slips up, and all of a sudden you hear a loud boom, and he falls to the floor. And everyone's a little confused at first, but don't think much of it. Start walking forward, and then the guy who was behind that guy walks up and notices that he's
bleeding.
Yeah, he's bleeding.
And so he panics. And so he turns around and he tries to run. So, of course, we were in red light, so he can't run.
Yeah, you can't run in red light.
And
Come on.
so he gets shot, and then the lady in front of him gets covered in his blood.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when everybody else starts panicking and they start running towards the door.
And that doll's eyes
Was-
were everywhere.
She was going everywhere.
She's like, bitch, I've been training for this.
She's like, I'm
Try to run.
ready. And so a lot of people die. I want to say at least like half of them died.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
They were like running to the door, banging that they wanted
Trying
to get out. But to the ones who stayed, they knew that if they didn't move, they would make it. Okay, so they are basically walking across, and our main character, Gi-hun, is so scared. Like for a while.
He didn't even want to move.
No, for a while he was just kind of like sitting there in fear. But Sangwoo, his childhood friend, is like, you gotta move. Like try hiding behind someone because I think that's like a motion sensitive thing. Like if you're walking behind someone, you're good. Like you're fine.
Yeah, and then Sangwoo also points to the timer.
Yeah.
I think at that point they had like 3 minutes left or so. And he was like, you have to move or else you'll lose. And so
yeah,
he
so
ends up moving.
Gi-hun is so scared. And he's like right near the end too. And he ends up tripping right when they say red light. But we're introduced to another beautiful man. His name is Ali. And he catches him as he's falling. And he's basically like
holding him. That man is strong.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If I was Gi-hun, I would have lost it. I would have been like, hey, wait.
What are we?
Do you like work out or something? That's crazy.
How much do you bench press?
I know.
Right.
But he held him up, and Gi-hun along with Ali, Sangwoo, and a lot of other characters end up making it to the end. And it's so like they make it right on the nick of time, but you see just like a bunch of dead bodies.
Yeah, and then all of the people who did not make it, they all get shot.
Yeah, who didn't make it under the time limit. Oh my gosh.
That was sad.
Yeah.
But the scene was so... I really liked this scene because of that. The Fly Me to the Moon song was playing. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
So you're just like, you know what? People are dying, but
This
my boy
song?
Frankie Sinatra...
It was
He's
a girl.
It's
a girl.
Was it a girl singing it?
Yeah.
Francesca Sinatra.
Francesca. Love her.
I got some bangers here. Gi-hun's like, I know you killed a lot of people, but like,
Damn.
it's kind of a slapper, if you don't mind me saying.
Slapper.
But they end up making it out alive, and they go back to the main room where all the beds are at.
Yeah,
and
the dorm.
And people are freaking out.
They're just like begging for their lives. They're like, I'm so sorry. I'll pay for all my debt. Let me out.
Yeah,
here,
I don't want to be here. And that's when Sangwoo brings up, because the guards are basically saying you can't leave. And Sangwoo brings up, oh, well, in clause 3, if you don't mind me saying, because I'm a lawyer, so fuck you. I went to school. He like starts listing all his credentials. He's basically saying that in clause 3, it did say that if the majority votes they don't want to play, then the games will end.
Yeah, but it has to be the majority.
Yes.
So they put it to a vote, but they go backwards.
Yes, but before they even do that, the worker's like, okay, you're right. We will put it on a vote. But before we do that, let me show you how much money
you made on the first round.
Yeah, like how much you're playing for now.
Even I was like...
Yeah, so they have this huge piggy bank, like on top that comes down.
But the way that he does it, he literally just grabs a remote and he's like, click.
Click. And you see like a bunch of money falling. At first it's like a few billetas. You're like, yeah, maybe that's like, I don't know, like a month's work, you know? And it keeps going and you're like, okay.
It's like a huge tube just going into it.
They're saying that for every person that's killed in these games, there's a certain amount of money added, which is around $82,000.
So that's what every person is worth.
That makes me feel validated.
Thank you. I thought
I thought I was an 83, but whatever. Whatever. But all this money comes in because almost half of the people died at this game.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of money. And it was funny because Sangwoo was the one who was like, we need a vote on this. But as soon as he sees the money, he's like, bitch.
Did I say?
Did I say I didn't want to play? I said, I'm having so much fun. This is clause 3, but fuck that. I'm going to play.
He's like, red light, green light was so easy.
It was so fun. That was my favorite time of the day today. You know?
I'll never forget.
Second favorite time, coming in here with you guys. He's like throwing all that teamwork bullshit. He's like, you can't spell team without me. He's like, because I'm in it. I'm the team. We're together.
He's like, don't worry, you guys. I got this. It wasn't just Sangwoo. Even other players who wanted to leave, they like looked at it like, well, I mean, you should have started with that.
I know. You should have told me. I would have ran faster. But they're put in like a box that's taped in the middle of the room. They said that we're going to count backwards from 456 all the way to number 1. Cast your vote whether you want to or don't want to start playing.
Yeah, but they have to click a button. It's like a red or green button.
And super obvious. Everyone can see.
Yeah, everyone can see what you pick. And then it like even says it on the wall, like yes or no.
Gi-hun chose this. Roast him. It's interesting because Gi-hun, the character we're introduced to, our main character, when he goes up to vote, he is against it.
But he's the first player to go, remember?
He's the first player because he's the last one, the last number. And that's interesting because...
we've seen his debt.
Yeah, but it tells you a lot about his character, how he values his life right now more than he values the money. Which I think says a lot because Sangwoo, the one who even brought up having to stop this, he's like...
He votes.
He votes yes.
He votes to stay.
Even the other people who were crying like, oh, I need to name my first kid and everything like that.
And they also vote to stay. Yeah, and they also get into an argument too. Like people are like, how can you vote yes? Like when people are actually dying and they're like, I mean, it's hell either way. Like we're going to die even here or back home.
Yep, it's hell in both places, basically. So might as well just stick around and see if... Because one guy's like, at least I'm close to winning something, you know, so why not just stay in here? Because every time they vote, it keeps going like half and half.
Yeah, it stays
like
consistent.
Right in the middle.
It's like kind of weird.
And by the way, there's 201 people voting because that's how many people survived red light, green light. And we have 100 and 100 on yes, I want to stay and keep going, and no, I want to go home. And the last person voting is the first person who joined the game, which is the old man.
Yeah.
And he goes up there.
Which, by the way, when the old man was shown to be playing red light, green light, he looked like he was having the time of his life. He was so happy. So, of course, it's easy to assume that he would probably vote to stay because he doesn't really have a whole lot to lose. But he's like contemplating, you know, he's contemplating. He's like hovering over both of the buttons. But eventually he pushes the red one to go home.
Which is crazy. I didn't think that would happen.
I didn't think it would happen either. I was like, what the heck?
Is that where it ends?
Yeah, I thought.
It's like playing like the credits. Like, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching Squid Game. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the triangle guard does tell them that they will have the opportunity to come back. But he's like, but for now, see ya. And so they get thrown in various places, in various areas of South Korea.
But they're, thrown without any clothes, tied up. Well, they have their clothes, but they're not wearing it. You know, they're just like on the floor, tied up in a random part of Korea, and they have to basically find their own way home.
Exactly.
But they have all their belongings back. They have their cell phone. They have their wallets.
Which, by the way, we were already starting episode 2. Like, this is already episode 2.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit about episode 1, though.
Okay, well, episode 1 does end with just the main character winning red light, green light. All of that, them deciding, is episode 2.
Yeah, okay, but first, I want to talk about episode 1 a little bit.
Okay.
Would you have reacted the same way, like, seeing red light, green light turn into, like, a killing game? Would you have ran away or would you have stayed?
I feel like I would have ran away. But maybe I would have been lucky like our main character and somebody would have fallen on me and then I would be saved. I feel like I would have panicked, to be honest. But then again, when I'm scared, I do tend to freeze.
I would hope that I would know how to react. But now that you talk about it like that, I probably would panic too. I'd be shaking because I shake when I get scared.
No, yeah, same. I'd be like trembling. Does that count?
Does that count? I'm like completely like,
this isn't fair. I'm cold.
You turn the AC on. It's not fair. My weakness.
The cold. Yeah, I think I would probably move.
But let's say you make it till the very end of red light, green light. You won.
I'd probably be like, I want to go home.
You would vote to go home?
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of, like I said, when you see that Gi-hun chose to go home, it kind of shows you like you value your life a lot more than you value
being in debt.
Being in debt.
But then, you know, also like our main character does owe his kidney and his eye, so
I mean, what's a kidney and an eye?
Thinking about that, I feel like I would probably be like, maybe I should stay a little.
Maybe. Like having my 20/20. Don't want to just have a 20. Like,
exactly.
The name of the second episode is Hell, which goes with what one of the players had said in the first episode, which was,
we're in hell either way.
We're in hell either way. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad because I feel like as soon as our main character, Gi-hun, goes back, his whole life is like falling apart.
Mm-hmm. But our main character does try to go to the police and tell them what happened. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when he's explaining, okay, first we were playing a children's game and people were getting shot at. And the guy was like, okay, but where was it? And he was like, I don't know. I was drugged. I don't remember. And he was trying to explain that the reason why he was saved is because they all managed to vote.
Yeah, and
So
the police officer's like, okay, wait, so you're trying to tell me someone was murdering people, but he let you guys go? Like,
it doesn't sound like it's clicking. And by the way, no one knows each other's names. They just have the numbers. So,
which is funny because he had the card and he was like, look, call this number.
oh yeah.
And he calls it and it belongs to someone else.
It belongs to some lady, and she's like, hello?
Hello?
And the police officer was like, oh yeah, I wanted to sign up for the game or something about the game. And she was like, what game are you talking about? And she sounded offended. And so the police officer he just assumed that Gi-hun was either drunk or hungover, so he told him to leave.
Yes.
But he does leave his card.
Mm-hmm. And so he goes home and realizes, is his mom home?
No, his mom is not home at this point. So he doesn't know where his mom is. And so he finds Sangwoo. Sangwoo is like hiding. They're in it's like a street.
A walkway with a lot of little pop-up stores, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where Sangwoo's mom works. Like, she's selling fish.
Mm-hmm.
And Sangwoo is just hiding. He's looking at his mom from a distance because his mom thinks that he's in America,
making
work.
it big.
Exactly, making bank. And Gi-hun sees Sangwoo and he's like, what's going on, bro? You good?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go talk to her? He's like, nope. I'm not gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
And that's when we learn that he is in a lot of debt for embezzlement and fraud.
And it sucks too, because we also see a point where Sangwoo, before he gets there, he was in a little convenience store with Ali. And Ali was like,
off.
yeah, and Ali was like, oh, can I borrow your phone? So he like turns it back on. He buys a charger for it and turns it on.
Sangwoo buys a charger.
Yeah.
Sangwoo buys a charger because his phone is dead and Ali really wants to make a phone call. So he buys the charger so Ali can make his phone call.
And when Sangwoo turns on his phone, he's getting so many emails like, you're in so much debt. The police.
You owe here. You owe there.
The police are looking for you. You have to pay this by this date. And it sucks. But he's still like super kind because he bought the charger so that Ali can make the phone call. Mm-hmm. And he also gave Ali money so that he can
take the bus, because Ali lived literally like 5 hours away.
Yeah.
And Ali was like, I'm just going to walk, because he didn't have any money for the bus fare.
Yeah.
So Sangwoo gave him money and Ali was so appreciative. He was like, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You're so sweet and whatever. He was just bowing to him and everything. And Sangwoo was like, stop. Like, stop.
Stop. Okay, a little more, but stop.
Don't make it weird.
But Sangwoo is living like basically in hiding because he doesn't want his mom to know the debt that he's in.
Yeah. So after Gi-hun approaches Sangwoo and, they see Sangwoo's mom at a distance, they like go off towards like a store and they're sitting outside of a store. Mm-hmm. And that's when Sangwoo tells him just how much debt he's in and why he's in debt. And Gi-hun is just like shocked by how much debt he's in. And that's when Gi-hun gets a phone call that his mom is in the hospital.
Yes.
And when he gets over there, apparently his mom has diabetes and her feet are just like fucked up.
And it's severe diabetes.
Yeah, it's severe. So the doctor tells him like she can lose her her feet if she doesn't get the proper medication that she needs. And of course, Gi-hun's mom she just leaves the hospital because she's like, there's no way we can afford this.
Yeah, and I'm fine. It's okay.
She's like limping the whole time too. So it's really sad. And Gi-hun is freaking out because he's like, no, you have to stay, because he doesn't want to lose his mom, of course.
But his mom gets hella angry because he's like, oh, you're playing the good son now after disappearing for like a day. Because remember, she gets mad. And it's so sad because he does care and he does realize that he's not really the best father, the best son.
Or the best son, because he did, he was the one who stopped their insurance.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know.
Because they couldn't afford it because he's in so much debt, paying all of like the interest from his debt.
Yeah, exactly. So the mom is saying, well, how are we supposed to pay it when we don't have insurance and you're in so much debt? And so she's just like, I'm leaving. And so she's like limping away. And then Gi-hun is just telling her like, I'll find a way to pay it for you. Well, I'll find a way
I'll
to
go
pay
make
it.
money and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And how does he hear about, when does he get hit?
So, and then the next scene, I don't even know what order they're in, but we go back to the police station. And there is this police officer who he actually saw when Gi-hun left.
And he was hearing their conversations.
He heard I think he heard parts of it because I think he was more focused on the business card that he left. The business card that he found is the same business card that he found in his brother's room. And his brother has been missing for a while. They never specify how long, but it's been a while now. And so he's trying to track down Gi-hun because he wants to ask about what he was basically telling the other police officer. So when he finds Gi-hun, Gi-hun is already really defeated at this point because of that whole ordeal with his mom. Yeah. And so the police officer's name is Juno. And Juno's like, okay, I need you to tell me because I'm looking for my brother. His name is this. And Gi-hun is just trying to play it off like, no, I was lying. You know, I just found that somewhere in the street. And then Gi-hun doesn't believe him. So he's like watching him. Yeah. So then we go to another character, which is Sae-byuk. Sae-byuk?
Yeah. She is one of the main characters too. And we learn that she's young and her reasoning for wanting to make money was that she has a little brother, Chol, who's in a children's home, which is kind of like an orphanage. And all she wants is to make money to get him out of there. And he's like so upset when she comes back because she promised him that they were going to leave soon, that they were going to get their parents back, they were going to live in a house, but nothing is happening. And she gets really upset too because it's like she made this promise to him and she really wants to keep it.
And they came from North Korea. So they escaped North Korea. And she needs a lot of money because she's trying to locate her mother.
Yeah. She even speaks to someone who is able to locate people. And we learn that she actually has paid money to locate her mom.
But they stole her money.
Yeah.
So all of the money that she was able to, I think it was all of her savings. It had already been spent. So she has to find another way to repay what she had already paid.
Yes. And we're also, this is kind of scattered, but we're also introduced to the issue that Ali is dealing with. He is working, it just looks like a heavy,
like a factory,
heavy duty type of job where like people can get hurt.
Like a factory with no regulations. Like they have no safety precautions. People be losing fingers.
Yeah. So Ali goes in there and speaks to the boss who is sitting so freaking leisurely.
I'm pretty sure he was like playing a game on his computer.
Yeah, he was. And Ali's like, you haven't paid me in 6 months. Like, you need to pay me. The guy's like, I'm out of money, you know?
I don't have any money to pay you.
Yeah, and I think Ali brings up like having to want to go to the doctor. And he can't.
Well, it's because he had already lost 2 fingers while working there. And he was like, I couldn't even go to the doctor when this happened. And so he's trying to get his money back because he, along with his wife and son, they immigrated from Pakistan. Yes. So they don't have any money because all of the money that they had, they spent it on their trip. And so he's working this like tiresome job, but he hasn't received any payment for it.
The boss is basically saying like, I'm sorry, you're not going to get your money though because I have no money. Yeah. And the boss gets up and is holding
an envelope full of money.
Yeah. So the boss picks up the money and walks out. And Ali is like, fuck that shit. And he goes after him and pushes him. I think that was his only, like, kind of to provoke him in a way.
Well, they're like fighting for the envelope because he's like trying to grab it, but then it falls, and I think that's when he pushes him, and the boss's fingers get like smushed. It's disgusting.
In one of those, like, it's just 2 metals.
Yeah, they're rotating.
Yeah, and 3 of his fingers come off.
Yeah. So, but then Ali looks at the money on the ground, and he just like grabs it and runs.
Yeah. He goes back home, gives it to his wife and is like, you need to get out of here. Take a plane, the next one coming, and just go.
Go back to...
Take our beautiful son and get out of here. Yeah. And the wife is like, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, I have to do something. And then I'll be with you guys. And we see all of these characters at different points of this episode receive another card, another Squid Game card.
It's another business card, yeah.
Yeah, that basically says meet at the same place at this time if you want to play. And a lot of people go back. Out of the 201, 187 chose to go back.
Well, before that, Sangwoo was ready to end himself. Oh, disclaimer. Disclaimer, this is really violent.
We can put it in the beginning. We'll do it later.
Okay. Well, before Sangwoo received his business card, he was ready to end it. Like, he had so much debt, and he was on the phone with his mom, and his mom was like, when are you coming back? Don't worry, don't buy me anything expensive down in America. And he's like, okay. And then she's like, love you. And he doesn't answer. But he, like, gets in the bathtub, and he's, like, ready to end his life.
He's drinking a lot of alcohol. He has on, like, a gas burner.
Yeah, for the carbon monoxide. So he's ready to just die at this point. But then before he dies, that's when someone is banging on his door, and that they like slip in the business card. It's like they knew. Yeah,
and all of our characters, a majority of the characters who were in the Squid Game came back. So 187
they had like
of them.
a 94% rate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But then you forgot about Deoksu.
Oh yeah.
So the last character that they mentioned was Deoksu.
And he's kind of like a
gangster.
Gang leader.
You're right.
Collects money for his boss.
But then he like screwed over his boss.
Yeah, he's not a trustworthy guy. He, even when he got his business card to go back, he tells like his men like, oh, just bring like the strongest men. Let's all go together. He tells
one of them.
Yeah, let's all go together and take all
the
this
money and run.
And his guy who he's with, he's like, oh, so you just to screw us over? To screw us over. And they basically were ready to kill him here.
Yeah, but he like jumps off a bridge and then escapes them pretty much. But then the next scene is basically all of those characters getting ready to get back into the van. And we even see the old man. The old man's getting ready to get back. So.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
So what did you think about our characters being back at home?
It makes me sad because it's very true to life how damaging debt can be. Like, oh gosh, it's so like just something that will be connected to you forever. So it makes me really sad that like debt is so heavy enough for you to like have experienced multiple people get murdered, but are still willing to go back to do it.
Exactly. Because it's true, like back home is hell.
Yeah. So
they're like, at least I might get something out of this.
Debt sucks. Debt sucks. I get it.
Debt sucks.
There was this one quote from like when you click the episodes for the summaries. It said, is the world outside more unforgiving than in the game? I feel like it is. Because it gets... Well, go ahead.
Well, okay, so this isn't brought up until later, but they try to keep the game fair. That was one of the points of the game, is that there's no judgment. Everything's fair. Everything is even. Everyone has the same chance of winning the game. But with life, unless you're born into money, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, you are. So it's sad, the circumstances, because you don't want to get put into this situation. But when life has pushed you so far that you are in that situation, because I feel for Sangwoo too, because he was an investor in like future things, and he just fell in debt, and that can happen to anyone.
No, he was an investor for stocks and futures.
Yeah.
So yeah, he screwed up badly. And then something else we didn't bring up was that Sangwoo was in so much debt that not even the game knew how much debt he was in. Remember, he was like, they don't know everything. So he was even more in debt than what they knew. But
they haven't looked up my Best Buy credit card, my Kohl's,
my Ulta.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started.
Don't get me started on Subway.
It's so sad. That just makes me sad. People in debt make me sad.
Yeah.
Because that's me.
Me too. So episode 3 is the man with the umbrella.
Yes.
So when they all go back into the game, Junho is following Gi-hun. So he's following
Juno, the police officer.
Yeah, the police officer. He's following Gi-hun. So he follows him when he gets into the van, and then they drive off, and they're heading towards the port. And Juno, he only has like 3 bullets in his gun. And he's like ready to sneak into this boat. So he sneaks in, and then he takes one of the guards' uniforms and the mask and everything. But he's a circle, so like...
Yeah. So what did you really do?
Trash. Right. So he takes over their identity, but it kind of sucks because obviously he doesn't know any of the rules. So it's very obvious that he's lost.
Oh, but can I also bring up, remember how the vans turn on the gas to make everyone sleepy? Sae-byuk, she held her breath to stay awake for the whole ride.
Yeah. And then she snuck in a knife.
Yes.
Or a...
pocket knife.
A pocket knife, yeah.
It was a pocket knife. But so Junho is in the game as a worker.
Well, he's on the... So they're in an island.
Yeah.
So he's on the island, and he's now a part of it, but he's like figuring out what's happening.
Where the fuck are we going?
He's like following the crowd, like, what is
They're
happening?
like, did you complete the search? And he's like,
yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, they're all good. They were all awake, and they're like, wait, what, awake? And he's like, no. Like,
asleep.
Like,
wake.
You know? Like, not awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, hella obvious.
He's taking notes on his phone as well, like on the notes app.
Oh my gosh, it was making me so nervous because his phone was at 56%. And I was like, boy, you didn't bring like a power charger or something.
He didn't
like
know
that.
he was gonna go to an island.
I
Leave him
know.
alone.
But all the players are back in the game.
Which, by the way that the dorms look, all of the beds are just stacked up on each other.
I would hate to be the one on top.
Oh my god!
I'm like, bitch, I roll. Like, I'm gonna die.
I move in my sleep, bitch.
You're like a player 13 eliminated.
It's like that's the easiest way to have eliminated. I had a nightmare. Oh my god!
But we are... The lady who cried about not naming her child,
Minyo, I think?
Minyo,
something like that.
She
is complaining because she really needs to use the restroom.
I gotta pee. You can't choose when the earth wants me to pee. I gotta pee. And she's so annoying.
She is annoying, yeah. But let's just skip a little bit. So
okay, but basically she wants to go to the restroom, and they open the door for her, and Sae-byuk is like, oh bitch, I want to go too.
She doesn't say shit. She doesn't
No,
say
she's just like, gotta pee too.
She's too cool to say anything.
Pee hour right now. You gotta go. And they go.
She doesn't pee though.
No, she doesn't, because she takes her pocket knife and opens up the air vents. And it's like, I'm gonna go scout around. You kind of keep it occupied in here. Buy me time.
Buy us some time.
And she notices while she's like in the air vents that they're melting a lot of sugar. But she's from North Korea. She doesn't know South Korean games, so she has no idea why they're doing this. But she does end up going back, tells the lady who was with her, the annoying lady.
Yeah, she tells her about the sugar, but the next day. And then Sangwoo overhears, and he's like, what were they doing? And she tells him they were melting a lot of sugar. And the reason why she tells him is because he tells her, like, I'll explain the games to you because you don't know the game, so I'll help you out, right?
Yeah.
So that was his end of the bargain. So when they go to the next room, there's different symbols on the wall.
Yeah, so there's like doors, and it's like a circle, triangle, square.
Star.
No, circle, triangle, star, and an umbrella.
Yeah.
And Sangwoo, you can see it in his face. He kind of is getting what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's even a flashback of like when he was a kid and they would watch somebody melt the sugar and then make the little
Cookies
shape.
in the shape. Yeah.
So he kind of knows, but he's very like, doesn't want to say it.
And it sucks because he had formed
a
with
little
this
alliance
coming back. They formed a little alliance with him, Ali, the old man, and
player number 1. Okay,
viejito,
and Gi-hun,
viejito número uno, and Gi-hun. They formed a little alliance, but he doesn't say anything to them.
They're asked to separate into different lines, and they all have to pick their own shapes. So even Gi-hun is like, should we all pick the same shape? And Sangwoo thinks maybe it's a little risky. Maybe it's a little risky for all of us to pick the same shape. And so they all separate into their own shapes, and Gi-hun ends up picking umbrella.
And
because
Sangwoo
I just love the reason why he's just like, I have this story of my mom and the umbrella. It's just like, oh my god,
she's always telling me take the umbrella, and I'm like, Mom,
I'm just so forgetful.
Yeah, but Sangwoo looks at him like, are you sure?
Are you sure you want to be the umbrella?
But he doesn't say anything.
No.
But okay, to be fair, Sangwoo also didn't really know what was going on. He had like an inkling of what might happen.
Yeah, but he still doesn't tell him. Either way, he doesn't tell him anything. So whenever they get their I don't think it's a cookie, but it looks like a cookie.
It's like melted sugar that's hardened that you can eat.
So they have to like carve out the shape perfectly, and
that's there's a shape that's stamped on there, and they're given a needle, and they have to
carve it out
and take it out perfectly in order for them to win.
And if they breaks at all, they lose. They're eliminated.
Yes. This is a very intense game. Like, they're all just hovering over
their little tin.
And you see some people, like, they're doing so well, and then it just cracks the little edge of their shape, and they get killed.
Yeah.
So it's super stressful. But because Sangwoo and Ali had, like, pretty easy shapes, and so did
Saibek. Because Saibek just followed Sangwoo.
But they all had easy shapes, so they finished pretty quick. Mm-hmm. They're gone. Minyo, the annoying lady.
She's cheating because she snuck in a lighter. So she's like lighting up her needle and like
oh my god. The thing that annoys me the most is that all of these guards have cameras.
I feel like they knew she was cheating.
Do you think they let it for like a little suspense? I think they let it happen,
yeah.
One guy who has like his camera on his chest, he's like,
he like guard covers it.
Look, you see that? And he's like, what are you doing?
Just look at it. Look at what's happening. They're
cheating. So you can see it in the camera. Look. But she ends up winning because of cheating. She even helps the
Deoksu.
Yeah, the gang guy. Because she's like, you owe me one.
Deoksu is already intimidating at this point. So I think maybe she was trying to form an alliance with him. So she hands him the lighter, or throws the lighter towards him, and he ends up also winning.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the only reason that Gi-hun wins is because he like sweat all over the cookie.
And he noticed that it was melting.
Yeah, it like melted it. So it was easier to carve out the shape.
It was funny because when he noticed it melted, he's like, okay, I'm just going to lick it. And because that layer's thinner, then that's going to come out. And he starts licking it, and everyone's like, what the fuck is he doing?
But then the old man, player number one, he also sees him, and you also see him start licking his shape.
Yeah, and everyone starts to do it. A lot of them start to.
Yeah, because they're following his lead.
And he makes it.
But then at this point, there was like, 2 minutes left?
Yeah.
Like, dang.
Oh my gosh.
Stakes were high. But one of the players didn't want to die. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't just want to die. So his cookie broke, but then he like stole the gun from one of the guards, and he was ready to shoot him and whatever. And he tells him to take off the mask, and you realize that it's someone really young.
Yeah.
And he's like, what did they do to you?
And he's just a normal guy too. Because you expect, him to look like a villain. Mm-hmm. It's just a normal guy.
It's just a young boy. There's a whole bunch of guards in pink, but there's a host. And he's all in black, and he has a different mask. It's just a black mask, and it's like pixelated almost.
Yeah.
So he is the one who oversees everything. You always see him looking at all of the games, watching all of the games. And he comes in because it caused a ruckus, I guess.
Yeah.
And he immediately kills the guard.
And he says, remember,
we can't show our faces.
Yeah. Which shows no remorse. It is fair. It's a fair game.
Because he's like, once they know your identity, it kind of loses the illusion, I guess.
Yeah.
The illusion of this whole island. Remember, Sangwoo, I don't know if he apologized, but he was like, my bad. I didn't know that that was the game.
Yeah.
But Gi-hun was like, how could you have known? It's all right. It's all right. He's so forgiving.
Gosh, I love him.
Do you?
Gi-hun, hell yeah.
At this point, you loved him?
Of course. Throughout the whole thing, I loved him.
Even at the beginning?
Yeah, because it sucks. Life sucks.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I can love a man-child.
I feel like so many people are stuck in ruts, though. It's funny. I'll give him a chance.
He's like, what, 40?
I know, but it's just a big rut.
It's a big rut. It's all right. No, I didn't hate him, but I was like, Gi-hun, I don't know how to feel about you
So
yet.
After this game, we're taken to the next day where they're serving food.
Yeah, so they're giving them food, and Deoksu, of course, he's a bigger man. So he's like, this isn't enough for me. It was like an egg. It was an egg.
Oh, no, well, Okay, yes. It was an egg and like a soda.
Yeah, it was just, so they were just given an egg and a soda.
And like for breakfast, they were just given like leche and a pan, like a bread.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're not feeding them a lot.
No, it's minimal. They're probably starving.
Yeah, and Doksu throws like a huge old tantrum.
No, he doesn't throw a
He
tantrum.
throws on the floor. He's like, "Where's my food?" No, well, he gets angry.
No, he just gets angry because he's like, what the hell? You think I'm going to survive off of this?
But-
so then Minyo
Yeah.
is like, whisper something in his ear, and then they just get in line again. Well, they cut in line.
Mhm.
And so they get somebody else's serving, and then it ensues this like fight, kind of, but it's more of an argument.
The people who didn't get food, when they get up to the line, they ran out of food.
Mm-hmm.
And the guards are like, well, we served exactly 400, or not 456, however many people there are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and that's how much food we made.
Yeah.
So we did not mess up. That's just how much food we made.
It's like, there's nothing we can do. There's no more huevos. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. And you, one of the ladies who was, you know, saw them cut was like,
she points them out. She's like, it was them. It was like a group of 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it was them. They're the ones who cut in line and took our portions of the food.
yeah. And this one guy tries like,
he tries, because I'm assuming he's probably starving.
Yeah.
So he goes up to them and he's trying to take Doksu's drink because he's like, that's mine. And so they start fighting and Doksu pretty much beats him to death. And Gi-hun
Sangwoo.
Gi-hun. Sangwoo goes up to the body and he's like, oh, he's dead.
Oh, that bitch is dead.
He's fucking dead. And Gi-hun is the one who's freaking out because he goes up to the guards and he's like, how can you just let this happen? Like, he literally just killed him in front of you.
Like, you have to do something. And you hear the little...
Yeah, no, but he's looking at the camera first.
Yeah.
And the host is watching, of course. So he's looking at the camera and he's like, hello, you need to stop this. You need to stop this man. Mm-hmm. And that's when the little money comes down because he died. And they're like, player... 27 eliminated. And that's when they realize like, oh, we don't have to play the games in order to keep accumulating this money.
So then this whole episode is about creating teams. Mm-hmm. So Gi-hun, Sangwoo, Ali, and old man number 1.
The only old man.
Yeah, are like, we need to stick together because now that people know that they can kill each other
and make money, then they're probably going to go crazy.
Like, it's going to happen at night. We know it's going to happen at night. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad because, like, they're talking about this and the old man, they're like, okay, no one go to sleep because, you know, it's about to go down. And they look at the old man who looks like he's just, like, tired already.
Like, he's about to pass out. And, but Gi-hun also notices that Doksu keeps looking at Saebyuk because Saebyuk and Doksu already had issues like from the beginning because they knew of each other and they already had issues. So he can see it in Doksu's eyes that he's gonna attack Saebyuk during the night. Mm-hmm. And so Gi-hun tries to tell Saebyuk like, well, you can join our team if you want, or if something happens in the middle of the night, just come to us.
And Saebyuk says like, why would I trust you guys? Yeah. And it's like, it's not about trusting someone who's trustworthy. Mm-hmm. You have no one right now. Yeah. Like, you need to rely on someone. So when the lights go off, you're seeing it through the main villains, the front man's perspective,
which is the host.
Yeah, he's watching it, but like the thermal cameras, and you can see movement. You can see people get up. Mm-hmm. And who's the first one?
Oh, Doksu.
Doksu goes up to the lady who snitched.
He takes the broken bottle, and that's when he uses the bottle
on the lady. Like, what'd you see, bitch?
Yeah, exactly. He's like hella killed her. It was brutal.
Yeah, you hear her scream, and it's starting to ensue panic. But I feel like it gets worse
because they start flickering the lights.
Yeah, because the host is like, "Okay, go ahead." Go ahead and start. And it's just flickering lights.
So basically, they had already known that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
They already pretty much premeditated it.
Yeah, so it's horrible. There's like a lot of people dying.
And then the beds, which like we said, they're all stacked on each other. Some of the stacks started falling.
Mm-hmm. And people are grabbing metal pieces from the bed. They're grabbing anything they can to kill.
They're like freaking smothering each other with the pillows.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and so Gi-hun finds like everyone from his team, basically like Ali and Sangwoo. They can't find the old man. And Sae-byuk is like
She
also can't they can't find her in the beginning yet.
Yeah, because Deok-soo is trying to kill her.
Those three men are defending each other, basically, like trying to stay alive. They don't kill anyone.
No, they're just defending each other.
Yeah.
Although Sangwoo did throw a couple of, he was like whacking them kind of hard.
And Ali was really strong too. He had the metal pipe.
Yeah.
But
it's not like their intention is to kill. They're just trying to defend themselves. Sae-byuk actually runs towards them. And then Deok-soo was behind her.
Yes.
And then that's when, they're like defending each other and helping each other. But it's like going crazy. And a lot of people die this night too.
Oh my gosh. And the thing that hits
Oh.
is that you see the old man standing like at the highest bed.
Well, you hear him first.
You hear him. And he's saying, please stop. I'm scared. At this rate, we'll all die.
Yeah, like, please stop. He's begging. And he seems really scared.
He's like shaking.
How the heck did he get up there, though?
How did you...
How'd you climb up there?
I can't even get up there. And that's my bed. Like,
yeah. Well, also before that, Gi-hun was trying to find him the whole time. But then, he was up there.
Oh my gosh. Doesn't it kind of feel... Because after that happens, the lights all turn back on and the workers come in and the fight stops.
And they're holding their guns towards them. Like, fucking stop.
But doesn't it kind of feel like that was such a like moment of realization? Like, they're all people in there.
Yeah, but...
And to hear... I don't know. That hit me a lot. Because it felt like the fight kind of paused for a bit. At least that's what it felt like for me.
When he started begging.
Because you kind of sit with the fact like, oh my God, I'm killing people right now.
Yeah, and I'm scaring this old man.
Yeah. Not Viejito number one. Like, no.
He's basically my dad. Yeah, I think it started hitting some people what was happening. Because in the midst of it, they were just doing it just to put more money in the bank.
So from this, 27 people die. And I hate it because Minyo even says like, damn, we killed 27 people, the annoying lady. And I hate it too because it's like, you didn't do anything.
She was hiding under the bed.
She's like shadow boxing under the bed. Like, man, if I was out there, it'd be over for all these losers. Because she's hanging out with Deok-soo, she feels stronger.
Yeah, because he is probably the strongest of everybody there.
Yeah. So it ends with 27 people dying. They take out the bodies. They don't clean up the blood.
No.
They just leave it in there.
Forever, We figure out that the guards are having this like side hustle, Yeah. So basically,
I respect.
Me too. I respect that, because, we're not in debt.
You gotta make money, yeah.
Exactly. Anytime anybody dies in this game, they are put in this really pretty casket that looks like a gift box with like a pink bow. And they are put in these, what are they called? Where they get incinerated.
Furnace.
They're put in these furnaces and they get incinerated. But anyone who is still clinging on to life, they drop the casket and they get sent somewhere else. And basically, their organs are harvested.
And they're pulling one of the players to help them with this.
Yeah.
And you can see every time they pull the player, because while they're walking all the players back to the dorm, they kind of just push him and go like, go left. And he turns.
Left.
And you can see that one of the security cameras who's catching this always deletes the footage of this going on.
Yeah.
So this player is helping them harvest.
Because he's a doctor, right?
Yeah, because he's a doctor. He's helping them harvest these organs. And in return, they're telling him what the next game is going to be. So from this night, he hears that the next game is going to be
Tug of war. So he aligns himself with the strongest group, which is Deok-soo's group.
Because even the workers told him that. It's like, you need to stick with strong people. Yeah,
so Deok-soo's like not even really down for him. He's like, what do I need a doctor for, Then he tells him, I know the next game. But he only tells him. He doesn't tell the whole group. He like whispers it. He's like, I can tell you what the next game is. So now Deok-soo's a little intrigued.
He's like, I'm kind of down, if you don't mind me saying.
Maybe you are kind of useful.
So when they're getting ready for this next game, they're put into a room and they're told that they need to accumulate 10 players.
Yeah.
And just make a circle with your 10 players and then we'll start the game. And you can see Deok-soo is like, okay, strongest men over here.
Yeah, so he lets go of Minyo. And
Which is like...
wait, okay, hold on. Before they even make their teams, they had a little moment in the bathroom. Yeah. Doesn't matter. They have a moment, okay? That's all that matters.
They have a moment in the bathroom.
And she tells him, if you betray me, bitch,
I'll kill you.
I will kill you. It's you and me till the end, right? And he's like, of course.
Of course. And she keeps calling him Oppa.
Oppa, I know. Because she wants to pretend like she's younger than she actually is. Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And so not the next day when they formed their groups, he just doesn't even say, I'm sorry, babe. He's just like, no.
Yeah, because she's like leaning on him. It's like, what happened to forever, babe? Like, why aren't you with me?
It's like sad because she's pleading him too. Yeah. She's like on her knees and humiliating herself in front of all these men.
Yeah, but he pushes her to the side and is like, don't
get off me, slut.
Like, you really think you're worth it type of attitude.
Yeah.
And they all laugh at her.
They just laugh at her. Mm-hmm.
But she's like, I'm going to remember that. Mm-hmm. And so they're all forming their teams. And we have Ali, Sangwoo, old man number 1.
Saibyuk, the only old man.
Saibyuk, Gi-hun, did I say his name? Mm-hmm. And they were all told that they need to find one person. And Sangwoo even
one person
said,
each.
Sangwoo said, like, try to look for men.
Yeah, he does not want
because women don't win.
He's like, men are better at games. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Verbatim.
I know, you're like, look it up. That's what he said.
I remember.
His at is...
it's burned into me. I was like, Sangwoo,
bitch. Oh my God, I hate it.
I'll fight you.
But they end up, Saibyuk recruits a girl that looks around her age. Her name is Ji-young, and I love her.
It's so funny because when Saibyuk sees her, Ji-young is just like on the top of the stairs. She's so unbothered. She doesn't even care. She's just sitting there.
Mm-hmm. And when Saibyuk takes her to the circle, Sangwoo's like, are you fucking serious?
He's like, I said men.
What is that? But Ji-young's like, fine, bitch, I'll leave. But, you know, Gi-hun breaks up a point like, no, don't leave.
Because they don't know what game it is. So he's like, what if it's a game that girls are good at?
And also they have 9 players and they need 10. So they can't be picking and choosing, you know? Mm-hmm. And Minyo sees that they have 9 players and it's like, okay, I'm going to join. I know you guys want me here.
She's like, I'll save your team. And no one is like...
And she's just like spouting nonsense. Like, you know, I didn't even go to school and I'm so educated. Like, I'm so smart. I can do more than these girls can do.
Well, it's because she's the street smart trope.
Yes.
That's her trope. Mm-hmm. Because she didn't receive a high education. So she's just really smart.
Yeah, but... they form their teams and they're told that they're going to play tug of war.
And it's scary. They're literally, it's like...
it's like a bridge that's like elevated.
Split in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's really high up. So whenever they're tugging, the other team is going to fall to their death because it's really high up. And
as soon as they fall and lose... the rope is cut and they die because the fall is fatal.
Pretty sure most of them die.
The first team that goes is...
Deok-soo's team.
Yeah, which they win.
Of course.
And you can
They win
yeah.
by landslide because it's all buff men.
Yeah, and the team after that is...
our team, Gi-hun.
Gi-hun's team. And as he's passing the winning team, they're kind of like, damn... I kind of wish we would have went against you guys so I could have had the satisfaction of killing you guys.
Yeah, because Deok-soo is super salty against Minyo.
Yeah. And now against the people who are also protecting Saibyuk.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so they're in the elevator going up.
One of the random players was like, we're going to fucking lose. But then that's when player number 1, the old man, was like, don't worry. I have a strategy. And
he brings up like tug of war isn't won by strength. It's won by like, you know, knowing your opponents, playing it right. Mm-hmm. And he teaches them this strategy that they're supposed to alternate how they stand, feet facing forward, and just like pull your body weight back.
Instead of pulling right away, just sort of like
hold it.
Yeah, hold your ground at first to weaken your opponent. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it doesn't matter. In the end, they end up winning.
You don't want to go over?
No, it doesn't really matter.
I fucking love that. I loved that whole tug of war thing.
I did. I mean,
where they went forward.
When they went forward and then backwards?
That would have hella helped me on Olympic Day in freaking high school. I lost all of the tug of war.
But now everybody knows.
Now everyone
Squid
knows.
Game is hella popular.
They won. And it's funny because Doksu is sitting like in the main room and he's talking with his groups like, oh, did you see those guys? That bald man? Oh, he was like,
oh, they're hella
losing
weak.
it. And they see Gi-hun's team walk in and they're like,
what the fuck?
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, they were shocked because their opposing team was just made up of all men.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's how it ends. Well, technically it ends with them tugging.
Just to mention, when they were all introducing themselves and saying their names, the only reason the old man, we're calling him old man number 1, the only reason he didn't say his name is because, remember, he has dementia and he couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, true. It's kind of sad.
We're taken to our next episode, A Fair World.
Yeah. This is the one where they're trying to barricade for the night, right? Because they're afraid. But then Gi-hun tells Doksu, like, are you sure you can trust your team? Maybe they'll betray you, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, at least I can fall asleep knowing that my team's
beautiful
not gonna betray
team
me.
won't betray me.
Think this old man's gonna get me at night? No. He comes up to me, I'll hit him with a 1-2. No, but he's basically saying, like, you've built no trust with your team.
Yeah.
And he looks over to his team and they're all like play fighting.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
so
my
he's
God.
like, damn, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yeah.
So during the night is when our characters get a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Ali and Sangwoo, they are...
they're keeping watch.
Yeah, for the first hour. And Ali, at least Ali, is telling him more about his life, how he has a baby, he has a wife, and his family is back in Pakistan. And... they're having this moment.
And Sangwoo even tells him, like, people call me Hyung. Like, and that's like a respect thing. Mm-hmm. You call someone that if they're older than you and you respect them. Mm-hmm. And Ali...
no, but Ali calls him Sonjanim, which is even, it's like what you would call a boss. So
yeah.
He like says it like an even higher, he holds him to a higher regard.
But Hyung is someone like you can hold a bond with them. Because that's what he ends up calling him now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have a really sweet moment of just like understanding with each other.
Well, but don't get it twisted. Sangwoo isn't letting him into his life. He's not, opening up or anything. He's more so just listening to him.
But at this point, too, it kind of seems like Sangwoo's like a nice guy. Which he is at this point.
Yeah, because also Sangwoo did share his food with Ali at one point, and then Ali saved his food and tried to give it to him on this night.
And Sangwoo cut it in half.
Yeah, he broke the corn in half and they shared it.
So
you think they're gonna be besties or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Then it's Gi-hun's turn to keep watch, and I believe he is with the old man because they're doing it in pairs. Mm-hmm. And so, but then Gi-hun is having a moment where he's just looking in front of him and he's starting to remember a really traumatic experience where he was fired from his job. Well, a lot of people were laid off from their job. And it was like, I'm assuming a really good job. And they were protesting in response because, a lot of people lost their job. Yeah. And his coworker actually lost his life. Mm-hmm. And so he was picturing it. And then that's when the old man is like, hey, he like kind of snaps him out of it. And he's like, you good? Everything all right? And they start bonding too. But the old man looks really weak. Mm-hmm. And Gi-hun tells him, I think you have a fever. And so that's when he starts taking care of him and he tells him to lie down. And Saibyuk hands him her water bottle. And it's so funny because she's like, you're going to owe me.
I know. But it was really nice of her because it was like to bring his fever down.
Yeah, he would just put it on his head. And then that's when Gi-hun and Saibyuk kind of have a moment because then now they're keeping watch together. Mm-hmm. So yeah, our characters are bonding.
They are.
On this night. It's a good night. So while this is happening, the doctor is, harvesting. You know how
the doctor player. Yeah.
The doctor player. You know how he is. I don't think there's another doctor. Mm-mm. But so he's down there. He's harvesting. And remember that when Junho started, he was a circle. But he had leveled up at one point. He was
Junho, the police officer.
Right. He had leveled up at one point. He was like a triangle. Mm-hmm. But he went back to his circle life because he wanted to see what...
He missed it.
He wanted to see what the circles were up to, Mm-hmm. And so he, along with his partner, I think number 28 or...
Yeah, 28.
He and his partner, 28, they were waiting for the doctor to finish harvesting. he was taking his sweet time.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finally got their bags, we'll just skip forward. When they finally got their bags, they like
Full of organs.
Ew. They like snuck out and they went through the VIP pathway, which Juno had no idea what that meant. And
he even asked, like, what's the VIP pathway? And it's like, for the VIPs.
Duh. And Juno was like, who's the VIP?
Yeah. Oh, no.
No, he was like, who's the VIP again? Tell me their socials.
I know. Can you please, like...
But then there was also, because he saw bombs planted.
Yeah.
And the number 28 was like, well, you know, just in case of an emergency. But while they were talking earlier, when the guy was harvesting the organs,
yeah,
they were talking about somebody who didn't have a kidney. And Juno was like, oh my God, my brother doesn't have a kidney.
Yeah, because remember, he's in there to look for his brother.
Right. That's his whole point. So when they're down there about to go into the water to go onto the mainland, Juno pulls out his gun and he's ready to shoot number 28 because he's like, what the hell did you do to my brother?
Yeah. And he's like explaining to him, like, you know, this is who I'm looking for. You just said that this was the case, that you just harvested. One person had only one kidney. That's like my brother. And
because I have his kidney.
Yeah, it's in here. Number 28 says like, oh no, it was a girl. And it's like, well, prove to me how you know it's a girl. And it's yeah.
It was disgusting. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Juno kills 28.
Yeah.
Because 28 tells him that he can find all of the information that he needs on all of the players, all of the guards in the front man's office.
Yeah.
And he knows where it is because they saw it like in passing. It was in the same, it was like in the same like path of the VIP. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so he sneaks in there, but he has to shoot the lock. That goes another bullet. That's two bullets down. And so he gets into the front man's office or room, whatever, and he's like sneaking in there. He's trying to find some cheesemate. And the guards find 28's dead body.
Yeah.
And then the alarms go off. And they're like, oh my God, we have an intruder.
But while all that is going on too, where we go back to the harvesting room where the doctor is, and he's just like, okay, I did what I had to do. What's the next task?
Game.
And the workers are just like, oh, we don't know.
He hasn't told us yet.
Yeah, he hasn't told us.
And he goes wild.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? I'm doing this for you guys. You have to tell me what the task is. Go figure out what it is. And it's like, well, it's not that easy. We can't just go do that. You just have to wait. We'll tell you before the game, though. And he's still super angry. So he ends up...
Well, because also keep in mind that he's probably starving.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't sleep. So he's losing his mind.
Does he take a gun?
He takes one of their guns, I think.
And he's holding one of the workers hostage, and the other worker, or the worker that's being held hostage, is like, okay, you go get the information that you need.
And we'll just chill here.
Yeah, and as the other worker's leaving, he's like, oh, wait, you need the key that's in my pocket.
So come grab it.
Come grab it. Yeah, and the doctor is like, oh, hell no, I'll grab it.
He's like, I know what this means.
Yeah, and the fight basically escalates and moves into one of the game rooms that they had already been in.
Yeah, the cookie one or sugar one.
And the doctor's like, why should I trust you that you're going to tell me? I just like, he's in a shitty situation and he just wants to know. And the worker takes off his mask.
And he's like, here, now you can trust me.
You can trust me because I'm just a person like you. Which they're all just people, which makes me really sad. You forget because of
because of masks.
Yeah.
And the numbers.
This is cut short because
the front man
comes in, shoots.
He shoots the guard first.
Yes.
Because the guard is about to kill the doctor. But he shoots him first and then he kills the doctor. And he even makes a comment like, I don't care what you guys do. I don't care about the whole harvesting thing. Because it seems like he doesn't really know what's going on or have any control over it.
Yeah.
But he like tells them, everything has to be fair in this game, and it's not equal if the doctor knows what the next game is ahead of time.
And like it's crazy because the next day, instead of like concealing all of this, the pathway that they walk to get to the next game, he hangs up the bodies of the workers and the doctor.
Guards.
Yeah, of the guards and the doctor. And just kind of hanging them in the center for everyone to see. And he makes a comment saying, these people weren't following the rules and I apologize. It won't happen again. And like
this game is all about equality.
Yeah, fairness and equality. That's crazy.
So everyone was just looking at him like, what the fuck? Even Deok-soo looked super disappointed because,
that was his connection.
That was his connection to hopefully winning. By the end of the episode, Juno breaks into, the archive room, well, all of these binders are at. And we find out that his brother's name is Ino. And his brother actually won the game in 2015. Mm-hmm. So he finds him and he's like, oh my God, I found him. But that's all that's figured out.
Yeah. So we're taken to our next game, which...
Oh God, episode 6.
Which, by the way, they're put into a room again and they're told that they need to partner up with one person. Mm-hmm. So it's only 1-on-1. Mm-hmm. And the way you partner up is you have to go up and shake their hand. Mm-hmm. And you see Gi-hun turn to look at Sangwoo, but Sangwoo's already shaking Ali's hand. Mm-hmm. And it's like...
Well, no, he holds his hand out first. Because remember, Ali is such a sweet character because he looks at Gi-hun first to make sure that it's okay. Mm-hmm. And
Gi-hun's like, it's fine. You guys would make such a great team.
He's like, don't worry about me. It's fine. And that's when they shake hands because Sangwoo tells Ali that they would make the perfect team because they're the smartest. And it's like smartest and the strongest.
We're both smart, strong, look super nice, symmetrical. You don't have all your fingers, but I have all my 10. So, we're good on that front.
We balance.
But you see Gi-hun struggling to find a partner.
Because he doesn't want to pick the old man.
Because, of course, the old man is not strong. Oh, and by the way, when they woke up that morning, the old man had peed himself.
Oh, yeah, because he was scared.
And Gi-hun was so nice because he took off his jacket and he's like, so you don't want to look like that. Here, let me cover it for you. Mm-hmm. But then when they're picking the teammates that they have to for the next game, the old man takes off his jacket and he's like, oh, put this on so you look stronger. So someone,
So he's wearing player number 1's sweater?
Yeah. And he is basically...
But Gi-hun doesn't say anything to him, right? When everyone's like picking their partner, player 1 already knows like you shouldn't pick me, so that he just hands him his sweater and then he just walks away because he doesn't even want him to feel bad about it.
And then as you see later, it's not that Gi-hun doesn't have people coming up to him
because he does.
Because there's a guy saying like, oh, I'm a math teacher, but I'm also a coach. I'm smart. But I'm on the go.
I'm strong. I can help you win. I got this.
And Gi-hun looks over and sees the old man just sitting in the corner, just like by himself.
Yeah, because he's not even going to try. But the person who's trying to proposition himself to Gi-hun, he basically says, because the doctor is dead, now they're uneven. So he says, well, whoever doesn't have a partner at the end, they're probably going to die. So, and Gi-hun looks over at the old man and he's like, well, I don't want him to die. So
he walks over and is like, we should be a team.
Yeah.
And that guy that Gi-hun was talking to actually ended up finding a team member because the only person who didn't have a team member, who no one wanted to team up with, was Minyo. Mm-hmm. She's like throwing a fit. Like, why doesn't anyone want to be my teammate?
She's like, I'm super strong, super smart.
Yeah, she's going up to people. I'll do anything for you.
Oh, I know. It's like weird.
Yeah.
She's trying to break. Oh, because two of the people there are actually married.
Yeah.
So like it's a husband and a wife, and she's trying to pull them apart, and she's like, girls are better. Like, we got this. Like, what if it's a girl game?
But everyone ends up leaving with their partners and she stays behind and they pull her away.
They just drag her away. And
they drag her away. So we're taken to like, it looks like a little neighborhood, like a little like suburban town. Mm-hmm. And they are all given marbles, 10 marbles each.
Well, first, every pair is given a guard. So a guard goes up to every pair and they have to follow the guard, and they're all separated in this neighborhood. So they're all in different parts pretty much. Mm-hmm. And that's when the guard hands them 10 marbles in a bag. Each, right? But before they even know what the game is, the old man and Gi-hun are super excited.
Yeah, because like, I used to play marbles. I was really good at it. Were you good at it? Yeah, I was good at it. We can be good gangbus.
It's someone who you're willing to share anything with.
Yeah, but as they're getting excited about this, and the old man's not listening anymore because he's super excited. So he's kind of like...
He's in his own world.
And you hear the intercom come on and it's like, you guys have to compete for the marbles. One of you has to end up with 20 marbles, and the other person who doesn't is eliminated. And it hits, like, you see the faces of all the characters.
Because obviously they all paired up with the person they trust the most. So Sae-byuk ended up pairing with Ji-young, and it's really sad because Ji-young told her, like, I'll make sure you win. Like, I promise you, no matter what, I'll make sure you win.
And Deok-soo, he pairs up with one of his, like, henchmen, who was, like, his most trusted man. And you can see the henchman's like, oh, bitch, I'm good at marbles.
Yeah, he's like, you're about to get fucked up.
So let's talk about how each character wins. Let's go from, like, the least interesting to most interesting.
So Deok-soo first?
Deok-soo first.
So Deok-soo is hella losing at first.
Yeah, because they're doing it by counting odds and evens.
So I have to wager. So let's say I wager 4.
No, you wager 4 and you don't tell me how many you're holding.
Yeah, we don't show each other.
But you guess that I have odd. And if I open it up and I have 7 and I have odd, you get to take how many you wagered, which is 4. And you just have to end up with the amount.
And if I lose, then you get to take.
Yeah.
Well, not all 7, but you get to take
whatever
4?
you wagered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Deok-soo's losing. Hella.
He only has like 4 marbles left. And then his henchman is pretty much showing his true colors.
Yeah.
Like, what, you think that I was going to let you win because I called you boss?
But Deok-soo's like hella like, it's not fair. I want to play another game. And then...
Which I don't blame him. I feel like I would do it too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a freaking
it's supposed to be
game,
it's supposed to be a free game.
And he even says, he talks to the worker, the guard, and he's like, isn't this supposed to be about equality and fairness? It's only fair if I get to pick.
That's what I meant, fair.
Yeah. So they end up playing another game where they make a
But wait, before you go on, I'm surprised that the guard was like, request approved or whatever. I thought he would be like, leave me out of it.
He could have said nothing too. Like,
I know, they don't say anything half the time.
He probably just wanted to see it for fun.
Yeah, he was like, "Ooh, yeah, you're so right."
They play a game where they make a hole in the dirt. In the dirt, and they just have to throw marbles. And if yours doesn't make it, then it stays there. But if you make it in, you pick up all the marbles that are there.
They're all yours. Mm-hmm.
And the reason Deok-soo wins is because his actually missed, but the other guy, his henchman who threw it, his marble hit Deok-soo's marble, which let all the marbles go in. Or no, which let his marble go in.
So he won all of them.
He won all of them, and the henchman ended up dying.
Well, is he the one that ran away? He was the one that ran away.
He tried running away, but they caught him.
They were like, ha, nice try.
Right. So that is how Deok-soo won.
So should we do Sangwoo next?
I want to talk about, Sangwoo.
Okay, so Sangwoo was playing with Ali, and Ali obviously doesn't know how to play marbles. He has no idea.
But he's winning.
Well, Sangwoo has to be the one to explain the game. He explains it. And he's like, odds and evens.
And he doesn't even know what those words mean. He's like, odds like 1, 3, 5, 7.
Sangwoo is the one who goes through everything step by step. And Ali ends up like getting an upper hand. He's hella beating him.
Yeah.
He's getting all of them right to the point where Sangwoo has 1 marble left. 1 saving grace. But he gets so erratic that he starts accusing him of cheating. He's like, did you, like, are you cheating right now? Like, how are you doing this? And he, like, grabs him and he's, like, shaking him. And poor Ali, he's, like, freaking out. He's like, no, I promise, I'm not.
And Sangwoo, like, looks for a while and then he composes himself and he's like, wait, there's going to be so many people.
Well, he apologizes. Remember, he falls to his knees and he's like, I'm so sorry, Ali. Yeah. Like, I'm so sorry for saying that. But then he kind of manipulates him because I think at that point someone gets shot near them. He's like, do you really want that to happen to me?
But then he also says, like, if you think about it, so many people are not going to finish this game. Do you really think they're going to kill everyone? Because then there's going to be no one left.
But they have 30 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time.
But he's saying, like, come on, we know that they're not going to kill everyone because they just want a game out of this. They're probably going to put us in pairs eventually. So maybe if you hold all the marbles, go scout out how many people they have left. Maybe they can figure out what's going to happen next in the game. Mm-hmm. And Sangwoo seems so caring at this point because he takes off his clothes and is like, don't just hold your marbles like that. Someone might take them. So I'll make you like a little necklace out of my shirt.
Which, by the way, one of the rules was you have to take all of the marbles, but no violence. So you can't beat each other.
Yes. So he gives all of the marbles except for the one that he's holding, technically, to Ali.
But didn't he tell him? I could have sworn he said, I'll even give you this one so you know that I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I could have sworn he said that.
You're probably right. But while Ali is looking, he realizes, he like grabs
He's
the...
like walking around.
Yeah, he grabs the marble case and flips it over, and it's just a bunch of rocks.
Well, okay.
Because...
Well, the time is running out at that point. And he's like going around the whole neighborhood, and he's trying to find Sangwoo because they agreed they would meet up again when 3 minutes were remaining.
Yeah.
And he's looking around all over for him, and Sangwoo had already showed the guard that he had all 20 marbles, and he even says, "You never said how. I have all 20. Count them."
And he walks out that gate, and you can hear...
Before he walks out,
you can hear Ali
calling for him. And that's when Ali opens up his pouch, and it's just rocks.
Ali deserves so much better. Fuck Sangwoo.
Damn, that was so heartbreaking. Because the actor did such a good job. He looked so heartbroken.
Yeah.
That face, that was betrayal right there. So then Sangwoo is like walking towards the door, and then that's when Ali gets shot, and Sangwoo does kind of flinch, but he just like walks past the door, and it's like, damn, not even gonna look back.
So Sangwoo wins that one.
Sangwoo wins that one. So next, should we do
Sae-byuk and Ji-young. They basically decide to just sit and talk to each other the whole time, and then when there's like 1 minute remaining, they'll come up with a game.
Yeah, well, neither of them know how to play marbles because Sae-byuk didn't have a childhood, and neither did Ji-young.
Yeah. So they decide they'll just come up with something, and it's winner takes all.
Yeah, and Sae-byuk wants to play right away because she just wants to get it over with, but Ji-young is like, what are you rushing for? Like, let's just talk. Let's just tell each other things that we wouldn't tell anybody else because we're never going to see each other again.
And it's so sad because through this conversation, you learn that Sae-byuk has like a dream to get a house for her brother Chol, which we knew about, but we learned a little more.
And this is the moment where we find out that her father is actually dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't revealed before because it kind of made it seem like she was trying to get both of her parents back. But her dad actually died during trying to get through.
Yeah. They shot him, and then the mom was taken by immigration, I guess.
Yeah, she was taken back to North Korea, so she is trying to get them back. But Ji-young is so like, there has to be more to that dream. A house, girl, you have so much more money if you win.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, but on Jeju Island, because it looks so nice.
Yeah.
And Ji-young's, it's sad because there are moments during their talk where Ji-young will be like, oh, let's go do that together. Let's go to Jeju Island together.
Drink some margaritas.
I'll show you how to spend money. I'll show you how to splurge.
It's really
And then
sad.
she just like will be like, oh wait,
yeah.
never mind.
We both aren't making it out of here alive.
And, that's Sae-byuk's reason for wanting to come out. But then when
she asks Ji-young about herself, it's revealed that, okay, so before that, we didn't know much about Ji-young's character yet, but there was another character who was super religious, and Ji-young kind of would mock him a little bit, or at least like question him or challenge him, like, oh, like there's like trying to make it seem like there's no God in this place, right?
Or like, you're praying to God, but you've already committed so much sin. So what are you praying about?
Yeah, exactly. So in this point, Ji-young reveals that her father was really abusive, but he was a pastor, but he was really abusive towards her. And it kind of insinuates that he would do stuff to her.
But would never pray after that because he probably already thought.
Yeah, and he wouldn't pray after he would abuse her or her mother.
Yeah.
So she said that the first time that she saw a body was actually her mother's because her father killed her mom. And she said the second time was his body because she killed him.
Yeah.
And so she was in prison. And so she took on all of his debt. So that's why she's in debt. And so when she was released from prison, that's when, the person showed up with the business card and was like, you want to play some games?
But other than that, she didn't really have any reason to use the money except for that debt, but really nothing else.
Yeah. What was she going to use it on?
Yeah. So at the very last minute, they decide to play a game where they throw the marble and whoever throws it closest to a wall that they're facing is the winner. And so Sae-byuk throws her marble.
Yeah, she goes first because her number is
first. Yeah.
Before Ji-young's number.
And throws it pretty far. Honestly, I saw the throw and I was like, pathetic. Like, I could have thrown farther.
Yeah, because it didn't hit the wall, but I feel like that's probably smart. You don't want it to hit the wall because then it'd come back to you.
Yeah, but then when Gi-hun goes, she just drops it.
She drops the marble. She just drops the marble, and Saibyo gets pissed off. She's like, "Don't do that. I want you to play fair."
And then Ji-young basically breaks down. Well, doesn't cry, but is basically having a moment where it's like...
No, she's like trying to play it off. She's trying to be cool at this point.
You can hear it in her voice,
No, at this point, she's trying to be cool.
But, yeah, she's trying to be cool, like, you know...
Just let me win in style.
Yeah, let me lose in style.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but she ends up saying, like, she really doesn't have anything going for her in her life. She has no family to go back to. Yeah, she can pay off her debt, but that's pretty much it. She has nothing else. So, you know, after hearing everything that Saibyeok wants to do for her brother and just getting her family back together.
She really wants her to win.
Yeah. And while Saibyeok accepts and starts to walk away, Ji-young calls her back and just says, "Thank you for playing with me."
And she's broken down. She's crying at this point. And it's really sad because then you see the guard holding the gun towards her, and Saibyeok doesn't even look back though, but she's like crying.
Yeah. So I feel like the last one we're going to talk about.
So that's how Saibyeok wins.
Yes.
It was really sad. 10 out of 10 would cry again.
Now we're with the old man and...
Player 1.
Viejito número uno. And Gi-hun. Remember when the intercom went off and said that they were going to go against each other? The old man is so excited to play marbles, but also so excited to be in a town that looks like his own. He's just walking around.
He's like, oh my God, I think I lived here.
I think this was my old neighborhood. I used to live in a place just like this.
So it seems like he's having like an episode because he's just like walking around, and Gi-hun's like, no, we got to play marbles.
Yeah.
And the old man's like, no, I don't want to play right now. And he even gets mad at him. He's like, stop treating me like a child. Like, I don't want to play. Like, what am I? A child? And so he's like walking around the neighborhood, and Gi-hun is trying to chase him down because the timer is clicking.
Yeah.
And they don't even start playing until like, what, halfway?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he finally convinces him. But he has to use force.
Yeah, because he's like, we need to play. You need to sit down and play with me.
Because he's really frantic at this point. So he's like, okay, fine.
But when they sit down and start playing, the old man is really good at it.
He's hella beating him.
Yeah, but, you know, as he's playing and as Gi-hun is losing and just like completely like devastated that he's losing, there is a point where he guesses, it's like he guesses even. Mm-hmm. And then the old man's like, okay. And he's like, wait.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, wait. I changed it to odd. And the old man opens his hand and it's even. And, you know, Gi-hun is like looking at this and is like he's torn.
Devastated.
But then the old man is like, wait, what did you say again?
Did you say odd or even? But his hand is open so you can see what's in there.
And Gi-hun changes his answer.
He's like, oh, I said even.
Didn't you hear me? The guard. Didn't I say even?
Like, even, right? Play it back. Play it back.
And he's like, I can't play. Play it back. Like,
so basically that's how their game continues. So Gi-hun is
cheating the whole time.
Because the old man is really good at this game.
And he's like messing with how the old man says it too. So if the old man kisses even and he's right, he's like, no, you said odd though.
No, he's like, wait, what did you say?
What did you say? Oh yeah, odd? He says it like that.
Odd? Yeah, he's like questioning him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you said odd? Even?
And
odd?
So when the game comes almost to an end, the old man brings up, oh, by the way, on the 24th, I have to buy my son a toy for his birthday. Like, I completely forgot last year.
Yeah.
And it's the last turn. And he's like, what did I say again? And he's like, oh, you said this. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I lost. I don't have any marbles. And the old man's like, can you give me a marble? And Gi-hun gets up and he starts to walk away. But the old man is like searching his pockets.
I think he's about to hand the marbles to the guard.
Oh, yeah, because he's about to hand the marbles to the guard. But you see the old man
pull out a marble from his pocket and he's like, oh, I have one left. Mm-hmm. So he didn't win because he had that one marble left.
Yeah.
But at that point, the old man was like, I'm over it. So,
I'm over it. I'm going to walk around the neighborhood again.
So he finds a house and he's like, this is it. This is where I used to live.
Mm-hmm. And Gi-hun loses it and is like...
He's losing his mind.
Yeah, he's like, we need to play. You have one marble left. Let's just play.
Yeah, because I think at this point they had like 5 or less minutes left on the clock.
Mm-hmm. And so then the old man's like, I'll play with you, but only if we can do one winner takes all also.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was like, I want to do winner takes all. And he's like, how is that fair when you only have one marble left?
And the old man was like, oh, well, how is it fair that you've been cheating this whole time? Like telling me.
Yeah, he's like, how is it fair that you've been deceiving me this whole game? And that's when he and me and you probably were like,
and your dad.
especially my dad. He was like, oh, hell no. He knew this whole time.
But even after saying that, he just ends up giving the marble.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he just hands him the marble. And then he hugs him too.
Yeah, he hugs him. And as
and Gi-hun is crying, by the way. Full blown tears.
As he's walking away too.
Gi-hun?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As Gi-hun is walking away, the old man is standing there and he's like, oh, and by the way, the guard is holding his gun up already.
They're just like, come on.
We've been waiting.
Cutting close.
Yeah, but you hear the old man say, oh, by the way, I remember my name.
It's Oh Il-nam.
Il-nam. Mm-hmm. Oh Il-nam. He says it and then he gets shot.
Right, but he gets shot when Gi-hun is like walking away at this point.
So Gi-hun's not looking.
Which I do want to point out that Ali and Il-nam, they were not shown to be shot. Ji-young was shown to be shot, and a lot of other characters were shown, but there were some that you didn't see them get shot. It was kind of like off screen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what sucks too? We don't really have to talk about it much, but this was the game that, like you mentioned, a wife and a husband went against each other.
Yeah, if only she would have gone with Minyo.
I know it could have been better, but the
Minyo
when they all
would have won.
When the winners all come back, they see Minyo
in the bed,
and she's like, you know what they call me? Weakest link. You know, a little offended by it, but it's kind of catchy, so I'm gonna keep it. And they told her now. Because no one chose her, she just got to skip the game. Mm-hmm. So she slept for 10 minutes.
Okay, well,
was it 10 or 30?
30 minutes.
Yeah,
it's 30 minutes. But I mean, I want to be the weakest link. Damn,
damn. If that's what we get, we see everyone come in, and the husband won. By the way, between the husband and the wife. Mm-hmm. And there's not many of them left anymore. I think we can move on to the VIPs episode. This is episode 7.
Before we continue to VIPs, can I just tell the world that my dad was absolutely heartbroken when Il-nam died. He was like, first of all, he was cheating, so he should have died. Talking about Gi-hun. He was like, Gi-hun should have died. So my dad hated Gi-hun. Past this episode, he wanted him to die so bad. He was like, no, how could he have betrayed him like that? Yeah, so he really hated him. So
your dad was the number one fan.
He was
of the number one old man.
Exactly. He's player number one's biggest fan. So let's start with the next episode, which is called VIPs. Basically, the VIPs arrive to the island, and they're just a group of rich people.
Oh my gosh, I totally saw that coming.
So did I. I mean, obviously, because how else are they going to have this huge cash prize?
That's like a lot of things. It's Banana Fish.
It's like a trope.
It's the Hunger Games. Everything is just like people who are the 1%.
Then they're bored.
They're bored, so they'll watch Killing Games. Mm-hmm.
And make bets.
Yeah. And like they're all jerks. Because you see one of them is like, oh, I'm so salty because I bet on 69.
And he ended up hanging himself because his wife had died. So,
you know, they're making a joke out of this game.
They don't care that they're people.
Mm-hmm. And while all this is happening, Juno, the cop, steals an outfit from one of the workers so he can be a server to the VIPs.
Because he wants to, get closer to them. Because he's also recording.
Yeah, he has his phone.
Damn, that battery
life. Oh my God. My battery, as soon as I turn on my phone, it's like 2%. It's not as good as that.
Well, same.
But he's recording. He has it up his sleeve. And he's recording. And we see all the VIPs sitting in their own respective couches with naked women who are patterned the same as the couches.
Animals?
As the couches. Oh, animals too.
Yeah, don't they look like animals?
Yeah. One of them looked like a straight up. She was like just like the footrest.
Girl. Exactly. I didn't even know what the hell they were supposed to be because they were so still. Yeah. I was like, are they real? Every VIP has their own respective couch area, and they're looking at It's like just like an opening, right? And they see like they can see like the next game.
And by their accents, it seems like they're like important. This is just a guess, but they're important rich people from different parts of the world.
Oh yeah, because one of them makes a comment that South Korea's game is so much more fun than all of the other countries. So, it's insinuated that this happens in every country, or at least multiple
Or different
countries.
types of killing games happening in different countries.
Exactly.
So the host is in the front and he's like, I'm so excited to have you guys. Oh my God. Tom, sorry.
My bad. We're not supposed to say each other's names. There's 16 players remaining now.
Yes.
And so they walk into another white room, because all of these rooms where they have to like pick their like teams or whatever, it's like a white room. And so in front of them they see mannequins and
16 mannequins wearing 16 suits that have all 16 numbers, like respectively.
No, they're just vests. Just 16
Oh, yeah,
vests. So they're all numbered from 1 to 16. So they all start picking their numbers. And Gi-hun is literally the last one, or second to last one to pick, because number 1 and 16 are left. So he's like having this crisis of, do I go first?
Should I go first and get it over with?
Or do I go last?
Yeah, but it's all because like one of the VIPs even mentions you don't want to go first because you're basically the guinea pig for everyone else to watch. But you don't want to go last because you don't know the outcome of like the game that you're going to be dealt with. Gi-hun is going up and choosing the number 1 vest. One of the characters goes up to him and he's like, you know what? I've never been the main character of my life. Not even once. So can I please just this one time?
I just want to be number 1.
I want to be number 1. And Gi-hun is like, oh, bitch, fine. I'll be number 16. And so they grab their vests and they go up to a glass bridge. And it's not even a bridge. It's like you have to hop to get across. So there are 16 tiles across on one side and 16 on the other. And you have a choice of to go on 2.
Yeah,
basically,
so they're
the whole way
side
across.
by side.
So the way that the numbers were like given, number 1 has to jump first. But the thing is, the glass is normal glass and tempered glass. And the thing about tempered glass is it can only hold. Is it tempered glass that
2
can't hold
people.
too much?
No, tempered glass is the one that holds 2 people's weights.
Yeah. And then normal glass will break at 1 person's weight. So you basically have to choose the tempered glass in order to make it across.
So it's just a game of luck, pretty much.
Yeah, and to be number 1 sucks because you basically have to be the first person to jump. And so you have to jump in order. So the first guy jumps and he's feeling a little confident because he gets the first one right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets the first one right and then falls immediately.
On the next one, yeah.
Yeah, and this game goes on and it sucks because people are getting angry.
Thrown.
Yeah, people are getting angry because there was one guy who stopped.
I think it was the religious guy.
And started to pray.
He started praying. He was like, God, illuminate the way.
Oh my gosh. Nothing against religion. It's just like the fact
This
that
is
he
not the
stopped.
time.
I know everyone else is like, numbers 11 through 16 aren't even on yet. Like, you need to hurry this shit up. So
Can you pray a little faster?
I know. I'll pray with you. Like, which one you doing?
Okay, so the person behind him is random person, but the person behind the random person is Duxu. Right, Duxu?
Yeah.
Or it's like Duxu is like close by. And so Duxu tells the guy in front of him, if you don't push him, I'm pushing you. And so the guy tries to fight with the religious guy. And so they're fighting and the religious guy pushes him. And he's like, oh my God, thank you, God. Because he pushes him into the glass that breaks. So he gets his next step. And
this starts to happen now. There are people who are pushing each other. And the religious guy doesn't make it because he falls. And now Dux is in the front. And he is like at a point where he has to guess now. And he's like,
I'm not fucking going.
I'm not moving. And Minyo tries to like get in his head like, you're just scared. You're scared. That's why you're not moving. And he's like, yeah, I'm still not going to move.
And then so Minyo tells him like, fine, I'll go then. And he's like, he doesn't believe it. He's like, you're joking. You're going to go? You? Really?
And then she's like, yeah, because I'm not scared.
Yeah.
So move
because she
aside.
says, I'm Minyo.
Yeah.
And so she jumps on the same glass as him because remember, it can hold 2 people's weights. And so it makes it seem like she's going to go, but she turns to look at him and she like holds him. Like she like puts her arms around him in like a bear hug.
Yeah.
And she hooks her hands together
to lock him in place.
To lock them in place. And he's freaking out. He's like, let me go, let me go, let me go. And she's like, I told you.
You don't mess with me.
I told you I would kill you if you betrayed me.
And she pulls both of them back and they land on the...
What would have happened if they would have landed on the tempered glass?
It can hold 2 people's weight. They would have just been like, oh.
This is awkward.
Well, can we try the next one? Like more,
This is roll.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that when somebody was pushed, they would have landed on the tempered glass.
Yeah, like, me too. I just wanted the satisfaction of hearing that.
Exactly, but it never happened. They always fell on the wrong one.
But after they both fall off, so Minyo's out of the picture.
And so is Doksu.
After they both fall off, the person in front, because it's the person in front, it's Sangwoo, it's Se-byuk, and
Gi-hun.
Mm-hmm. And the guy in front, who's like not an important character, but he's like, I used to work in a glass factory. Mm-hmm. Like, I can tell the difference. Like, you can see the refraction of the light and also the sound it makes when you throw something on it.
Right, but he's not relying on the sound. He's just looking
relying at looking at it. And so the VIPs are watching this guy crouch, and they're like, he can tell the difference.
And so they're like, boring.
Yeah. And so the
front man, he's like, well, then let's turn off the lights. And he turns off the lights.
They turn off the lights, and Gi-hun had kept one of the marbles. And
one that Ilnam gave him. He kept that one.
And they threw it to hear the noise. And it's like, okay, but I need to hear the other one. And he can't. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay, bitch, I ain't jumping. Like, I can't see the difference. And Sangwoo starts getting
antsy because at this point they have like less than a minute. And he's like, you better fucking go. And the guy's like, I'm not going.
But the thing is, the guy was looking. So he was going to go. He wasn't going to stay there.
I don't think so.
I would have gone.
No, if
Glass Factory, don't fail me now.
I would have been like, you know what? If I'm dying, bitch, we're all fucking dying then.
No, but he did want to go. It didn't look like he was going to screw them all over. Debatable. Because don't you remember, Sangwoo eventually sees that this man is not going to go and pushes him, and the guy falls through the tempered through the normal glass and to the floor. And
if only he would have landed on the tempered one. Like, come on. That would have been a good one because then it would have been awkward.
Yeah.
Like, oops, my
But
bad,
after Sangwoo does that, it catches, like, Gi-hun by surprise.
And Se-byuk. They're both just like, oh my God. Bitch.
You were the glasses one? Like,
bitch, it ain't that serious.
They end up, all 3 of them, making it across.
But with barely enough time.
Yeah.
Because by the time that Gi-hun jumps, like, then all of the glass just starts shattering. Because
the timer ended and the glass blew up.
Yeah, because I think it's like being shot from the top. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's just blowing up.
But as it blows up, all 3 of them get hit with
shards.
Pieces of glass. And you don't know the severity yet. You kind of just see it hit their face. Mm-hmm. But the 3 of them are the winners. For now. So they get sent.
One more game.
They get sent back to their room, which is so empty now that it's just the 3 of them.
And they moved all of the beds, so it's just 3 beds remaining, and you can literally see all of the games that they've played on the walls.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell just by the way she's walking that Se-byuk is not doing so hot. They're the winners, and they go into the room and they're told that they're going to be given a prize.
Yeah, they're celebrating.
They're celebrating for being the last 3. Mm-hmm. So they tell them that they have to change into these new outfits in order for them to go to the prize.
It's like a fancy outfit.
Yeah, it's like a tux and
much.
A little bow tie. But while they're all changing, you see that Se-byuk has like a huge ass glass.
Dude, it's huge.
In her stomach.
Literally, I thought you're not supposed to pull anything sharp out of you.
But I mean, she's not going to walk with like a huge...
Why not? She could literally like grab
She's like, hi guys, it's part of me now.
And stab someone, you know what I mean? Like hug them and
gosh. Just... But she pulls it out.
Yeah,
and tries to make like a tourniquet type of thing to like...
It's a lot of blood that she's losing.
Yeah. And they go to their prize, which is like a feast. They're all sitting in a triangular table at one end. That
made me laugh, to be honest, because it was like so much space wasted. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a triangle.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Guys. Hey. And
pass the salt. But they are all sitting and they're treated to this huge feast.
It's like a steak dinner.
Lamb chops?
It might have been a lamb. I don't even know.
I don't know, but it's very fancy food. And freaking the boys.
Sangwoo first. Sangwoo was like, well, I'm gonna fucking eat. And it's so funny because it kind of felt like, is this also part of the competition?
Because they were looking at each other as if they were competing. Ooh, I'm gonna eat so good right now.
I'm gonna fucking finish this bitch. And Saibyuk was the only one who was not really
She took
eating.
one bite, but that was kind of it. And when they take away the plates, all the food is gone off of Gi-hun's and Sangwoo's plate. But
Saibyuk
did not touch anything.
Yeah, she pretty much left the entire thing.
But while they're cleaning up, they purposely leave the knife right in the center of their, their
each
eating
of them,
area. Yeah.
All three of them get a knife.
And all three of them take it. Mm-hmm. And they're taken back to their room.
No, it's in the same
a new room. Is it?
It's the same room.
It's the same room, but it has 3 beds.
They just clear it out.
Yeah. There's 3 beds at each corner, and they're all just watching themselves.
Each other.
Yeah, watching. Oh, yeah. They're watching each other. Mm-hmm. And Gi-hun gets up. Because freaking he looks at Sangwoo, and Sangwoo's just like, dead man staring. Yeah, he's just looking right at him. Gi-hun gets up and goes to Saibyuk. And at first, she's like very like defensive. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm not here to kill you.
Because I would have done it already. Because she was about to pass out.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. So he basically says, the only reason that I brought this knife is because of him. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to hurt you. And they talk about how in the next game they should team up and kill Sangwoo because
he doesn't trust him.
No, and then they should just get out afterwards. Like, that was the plan for both of them to just leave.
Yeah, and then by the way, like, Sangwoo and Gi-hun grew up together. So
that's a big thing for him to say.
That's a big thing for him to just be like, you know what? I don't trust him. So
we once played tic-tac-toe. That bitch cheated.
Cheated in tic-tac-toe. He read my mind.
You see that how he pushed that guy in the glass? That could have been me. I mean, it wasn't, but it could have. Could have been.
What if I picked number 14?
He would have done it. I know he would have.
But then Saibyuk is just, she's obviously like at the end. She's dying pretty much because she's lost so much blood.
And she starts speaking very like already knows that she's gonna die, so she's like, can you please?
Well, she says like, well, if I don't make it, can you just promise me that you'll she says, can we promise each other that we'll take care of each other's families
if we don't make it? But
he's like not even paying attention because he's so concerned about Sangwoo. He's just looking at him like, gotta take him down.
Yeah, while she's saying this, Gi-hun turns around and notices that Sangwoo's dozing off. And it's even to the point where he's letting go of his knife.
It falls on the bed.
Yeah, it falls on the bed. And Gi-hun gets his knife and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this.
He's like,
I'm gonna kill this bitch. Mm-hmm. And as he's walking, Saibyuk stops him and it goes like, you're not this. You wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you're not this person.
But she ends up passing out because of loss of blood. And he notices because it's just like a huge red mark.
And it's really sad because she tells him, I want to go home.
Yeah.
It's really sad. And he's trying to stop the blood by like holding down the wound.
And ends up like running towards the door and is knocking like, someone's dying in here. You need to help them.
He's like, come on, how are you going to see your final game?
And so they open the door and he is assuming, they're here to help. Mm-hmm. But he sees the huge coffin. And then when he looks over, Sangwoo
is standing over the bed, Saibyuk's bed, and he had literally punctured her neck with the knife. So she was dead at that point. Because, damn.
He
went deep.
That death hit me the most. That sucks. She was just a child.
Yeah.
So it's a shame.
It hit me the most because I was like, damn, her brother only has her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at that point, Gi-hun wasn't really paying attention. Like, yeah, she told him, like, where her brother is, like, his name, whatever. But he wasn't really paying attention because he was so focused on Sangwoo. Mm-hmm. And he didn't promise. He didn't make a promise. And so Gi-hun is trying to fight with Sangwoo because he's heartbroken, obviously.
Yeah. But the workers stop them.
The guards stop them.
So just to catch up with what's happening with the VIPs. So Juno is in there videotaping them. But there's one VIP specifically who is just annoying.
He's disgusting.
Because he keeps looking at Juno and just like looking at his eyes. He's like, oh, take off your mask. I want to see that beautiful face,
Oh, you're right. But this was going on when the glass
game was going on. Juno ends up telling him, like, if you want, we can go somewhere private and I'll take off my mask. And they do. And it's disgusting. Basically, he's trying to take advantage. Yeah, the VIP is trying to take advantage of Juno. And Juno is like, fuck that bitch. And basically gets the upper hand in this situation and takes out his camera and is holding a gun towards the VIP.
Heavily battery operated phone.
I know. It's at 1%. That's going to last me 10 years. You know, with how efficient I am. But he basically says, you have to say everything about these games or else I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, he's like, tell me everything.
Yep. So
once he gets all of the information he needs, he basically makes a run for it and he tries to run away from the island. But the front man notices that something went down in that room. And so he takes a couple of guards and they are going after him. Because it's like when he opens up the door to the passageway, because it like goes down, it's like stairs. They like look at each other.
And Juno's like, damn it, bitch.
Fight me,
what do you do? I know. He ends up taking.
Smiles at him.
I know.
Like,
he ends up taking one of the oxygen tanks. Juno takes the pathway that the VIPs would take to leave
to the mainland. Yeah,
swims the rest. But when he makes it there, he's called his superior.
Well, he's like climbing up the mountain first.
Trying to call the superior, trying to tell them what's going on, trying to send all this info.
But the fucking superior is like, what?
Bitch, what? Where? I can't hear you.
Where have you been? Where have you been, ho?
I had to cover all your shifts.
You know how tired I am, bitch? It's like he's trying to, he tells him, I'm going to send you stuff. Or I'm going to send you evidence or whatever. And he's trying to send everything, but it's not sending.
Yeah.
Because there's hardly any service here.
And it sucks because eventually he gets caught. And the host, the front man, was like, you have this certain type of gun that only carries a certain amount of bullets. So technically,
I think it's just him being on the force.
Yeah.
He's like, you're part of this police.
You're only allowed to carry 5 bullets and 1 blank, and you've already used this many, so technically you only have 1 left.
And he's like, that's all I fucking need, bitch.
I know. And the front man tries to approach him. Juno uses his last bullet to shoot his arm.
He shoots his shoulder.
Yeah. Juno's like, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you doing this? And the front man takes off his mask, and
it's revealed that this whole time his brother was the fucking front man.
Can I just say, too, when that brother took off his mask, it looked like he didn't give a shit at all.
Like, emotionless?
Yeah, he was just like, oh, hi.
Oh, hey, dude, haven't seen you in how many years?
Can you let me know? Did I leave the water running?
That's my room.
Yeah,
Is
you better
good?
not touch my stuff, punk.
Because he
like punches the brother in the arm. And he's like, stop.
No, wait, but there was love at one point because he gave him his kidney. Hello. He looks desensitized.
Yes.
To whatever it is that he has had to do. I don't know what it is, but
they end up shooting Juno, and he falls in.
Well, Juno's like,
yeah, that was good acting.
Brother. And then, he, shoots him, and he falls into the water. Because he's, like, in a cliff, so he falls into the water. And now he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone, but is he gone?
Thank you. To be continued. We're taken back to our last remaining 2. Sangwoo and Gi-hun.
And then there were 2.
Mm-hmm. The VIPs are kind of like, who's going to win this, boys? Who we betting on?
Let's place our bet.
Yeah, and so the final game is called Squid Game, which is this child's game where you're basically playing either defense or offense, and offense has to make it to the end of a drawing that's on the floor.
That looks like a squid.
And if you make it to the end, you're the winner. That's it. But it's the last game because it's known as one of like the most violent children's games.
Like you can pretty much freaking fight each other.
Yeah. The game went on and they played dirty. There was like they were throwing
sand in the air. Which, by the way, we never specified, but they're in an island, but it's like a building that the roof opens. So the ceiling, it can open and close. Mm-hmm. So it starts pouring rain and they're playing in the rain and
not great. It's
sad.
They have their knives. Yeah, they have their knives.
They're playing dirty. That part where Gi-hun bites his ankle and literally like spits out part of his skin, I was like, ugh.
Get some of that ankle. At the very end,
Gi-hun is about to win.
He's about to win, and he's like, Sangwoo's on the floor. He's not dead, but he's on the floor.
He's on the floor on his back, just staring at the fucking sky. And Gi-hun is about to like
walk to the finish.
But he stops.
He stops.
And all of the VIPs are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he says, I want to quit the game.
Yeah,
I don't want to play anymore.
I want to forfeit the money. Which we never specified, but when you forfeit the money, if the game is over, it goes to all of the victims' families. So
Yes.
all of the people that died, they would get a share. So Gi-hun wouldn't get anything.
Yeah.
Or Sangwoo if they were to stop.
But all the VIPs are confused. Like, why would he want to forfeit if he's at the very end? Like,
he's so
does he
close.
value life more than money? Like, this is crazy.
Like,
I've
do
never heard of this.
Do people do that?
It's just
So-
completely in
and
shock.
it's really sad because, like we said, they grew up together. So Gi-hun walks up to Sangwoo and he's like holding his hand out for him, and he's like, "Let's go home. Like, let's just end this." And Sangwoo, Sangwoo is thinking about his mother. He's like,
Yeah.
he's thinking about his mommy. So he's
As
like,
one did.
he's
As
like,
one does.
he tells him, "I'm sorry," and he grabs the knife because remember they were given knives, and he literally stabs himself in the throat.
Yeah.
So that Gi-hun would win all of the money, and he's trying to tell him while he's dying
What he wants him to do, but he's just saying, my mom.
He's just saying mom.
Yeah.
But of course you get what he's saying.
Yeah.
And Gi-hun's like screaming. The way that he was screaming was really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
He lost everyone.
lost
Everything.
Mhm.
And so the game ends, and he's the winner. The end. That's the end of Squid Game.
Thank you so much for watching. Imagine if it would have ended there. You know what's funny? My mom, when I was watching this with my parents, my mom was like, I swear to God, if it ends right there, I'll be pissed.
Oh my gosh.
And
I would not have been satisfied. I was not at this point satisfied with the show. Like, the fact that he won like that made me really sad.
it made me sad too. Okay, Gi-hun goes back home.
He goes back home. Last episode, one lucky day. So he goes back home, and he's kind of left the same way he was left before, still in his clothes, still bloody. And he's just thrown into the street, tied up. And there's one guy just going like, Jesus saves lives. Pray for Jesus. Jesus is here for you. Jesus is here today. And he sees Gi-hun just like fall on the floor. And he like takes...
They threw him.
Yeah, they threw him.
They literally threw him off the limo.
Yeah, and he takes off his...
His blindfold.
And the first thing he says is, Jesus saves lives? Like, Jesus...
Have you heard of Jesus?
Did you hear? You seem a little busy, but Jesus saves lives. And Gi-hun spits out...
The credit card.
How far did they put it in there?
They're like in there, bro.
Yeah, it was like
down
right
his
here.
fucking throat. I would die.
What's on the air pipe? Like,
Can you imagine? He probably could have died.
Yeah, they probably just stuffed it in his mouth.
Because he spit it out.
Yeah.
Gross.
But he goes
To the bank.
to the ATM.
Yeah, and then he inputs
His number, 0456.
pretty much, his number, and he has all of the money. So thank God he didn't have to carry around that piggy bank, How inconvenient.
I know. It would have been funny. He's like, hey, guys.
Hey guys. Strapping on like a backpack. Like, hey guys. I'm back home.
But it's funny because even with all this money, he takes out like 10,000 won.
Like nothing. He takes out pretty much nothing.
And
he's defeated. He looks like he's been through hell, and he walks by Sangwoo's mother's shop or street.
And he's
thing.
like completely like not
No
responding
expression.
to anyone. And the mom, Sangwoo's mom, is like, oh, by the way, I haven't heard from your mom. She hasn't been down to work.
It's been like 2 days.
2 days, but I didn't want to check because it's up all those stairs. I'm not gonna check. But she's like, I haven't checked, but just to let you know. And she can see how defeated Gi-hun looks.
So she's like, did you get in a fight? I know. Okay?
And he doesn't respond, but she ends up giving him fish and is like, here, go give this to your mom. And Gi-hun holds up the money that he took out, the 10,000 won, and she's like, oh, no. It's fine.
She's like, you need it more than me.
So he makes it back home and turns on the light. And it's just like,
well,
oh, no, he doesn't.
Before that,
Oh.
Sangwoo's mom asks him, have you heard from Sangwoo? I haven't heard from him. Can you please let me know if he calls you? No expression. Gi-hun doesn't even look back. He's like, no. And then that's when he's like dragging himself back home.
And when he gets in, he doesn't turn on the light. He's walking around calling for his mom.
In the fucking dark. He's like, Mama, I'm home.
I know. And finally gets into the room and sees her on the floor. And at first assumes that she's taking a nap. But
If only.
yeah, but he starts like shaking her
Do you really think that he thought she was sleeping? I don't think
I feel like when you are put in that situation, you're in disbelief. So he probably wanted to believe that, but
she was just sleeping.
Knew that because she was severely diabetic, she passed away.
Yeah.
So he was left with absolutely nothing.
He literally,
but is like filthy rich.
He literally laid down next to her and started hugging her. And he was like talking to her like she was actually sleeping. And it's like, bro,
yep.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but
So 1 year passes. And
he has hella survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
So he has not touched the money.
I don't think I would either though, because that shit's
You know what's funny? I feel
rough.
like the more popular discussion is the opposite of that. The opposite of not touching the money.
Like, bitch, I would have used it.
Bitch, I would have been on a yacht.
He looks completely like hair outgrown. He has a beard. He has a mustache.
He has hella survivor's guilt.
Yeah. And I mean,
he has not touched the money.
No. And he still like, is like
he's still like living the life normally like he was before.
Mm-hmm. And he goes to a bank because he was called in.
The whoever is holding his money, the bank calls him in, and the guy's like, "Oh my god, we have the best coffee ever."
Yeah, and you can tell that they're treating him like someone
royalty
because he has so much fucking money. But it's like, you haven't touched it, so we were thinking if you want to move it to a savings where you can build interest,
you would get this much back and this much. And Gi-hun,
like as soon as he sat down and heard that, he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get up."
He gives no fucks. And he even asked the guy for money.
For bus fare.
Yeah, he's like, "Can I borrow
like
money?"
10,000 won.
And the guy is like, bro, have you looked at your account?"
I know.
But he gives him the money, though.
Yeah,
he
gives him the money.
Whatever.
But he is miserable.
He's miserable. He's sitting by the beach drinking. And then this old lady approaches him and she's holding like these flowers. And she's like, "Do you want to buy some? If I don't sell any, then they're just going to go bad." And he's like, hands her money. And she hands him one stem. And it's like literally an envelope that looks exactly like the fucking caskets.
Yeah.
And he opens it and it says something like, "Meet me here." It says an address and then it says Ganbu, right? It says like your friend or Ganbu or something like that. And he's like
Viejito número uno.
Bro, hello? Exactly. So he goes to this location at this time and he like goes on the elevator, right? Because it's like a couple floors up. And he goes in there and he just sees one fucking bed and then you see
the old man.
He's like on the bed, but like he has like a
tubes and everything connected to him. Yeah, so you can tell he's like on his last leg.
He's like fucking dying.
Wait, can I ask you a question? How did your dad react?
My dad, my father, the moment that this shit was happening, my father was like, "Oh my god, it's raining. I gotta go outside." And he was like, went outside, and I was like, No, you need to come back. Come back. And when he came,
that's such a dad thing to do.
No, for real. He was like, I think something was outside the fucking grill. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, "I gotta go hide it." And my dad, I swear to you, when he came back in, uninterested. He was like, when my mom was the one who told him, she was like, "Mira, ahí está el viejito, your preferido, your favorite one, whatever." And my dad was like, "That's not him." That's his
oh my god.
That was his first reaction. He was like, That's not him. But then when he came back, he sat down on his phone the entire time. He was over it. He was like, God. I think he was betrayed. He was literally so betrayed. He was like, No.
Not even.
No,
I'm not going to give him the satisfaction.
He probably despised that ending.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I didn't actually ask him. I know they liked it overall, but
we need to have your dad here as a Q&A.
Oh my god, for real. He's like, "Nah, that was
he's in here.
That
it starts
was my
raining.
boy."
He's like, "The host." That's something my dad would do. Oh my gosh.
But when I was watching it with my little brother was like, "Damn, I cried for him." Anyway, so let's go back, resume to the show.
The old man
laying down
in the bed, and Gi-hun is pissed.
He's pissed. He's so angry. He's like, "What the fuck?
We were gangboo.
And now we're gone."
But the old man is just kind of like, "Yeah,
He was like,
Does he tell him he's the main?
Yeah, he basically tells him, like, I had all this money and then I was bored.
I was bored and I wanted,
I wanted some fun. But everything that he told him was true, though. Like, he really was dying or was battling dementia, and, he had that tumor. And he was like, once I joined the game, I can't. Like, it was pointless to stay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no point in... He was supposed to be with the VIPs and entertain them, but he had left because he was like, it's pointless. It's not fun when you're not playing it.
Mm-hmm. So he was literally only in it for the fun.
He was having fun. He was like, you and me, we were bonding.
And Gi-hun is trying to understand why. Mm-hmm. And he's like, because, like, life is fair in there. And so they look out the window. And there's a homeless guy, and it's snowing, by the way. There's a homeless guy, like, falling asleep in the snow who's most likely drunk. Mm-hmm. And the old man is like, let's play one more game. I bet you that no one will help that man.
By midnight.
Like, no one's going to help him.
And he's like, if you win, I'll tell you everything you want to know. If I win... He doesn't even want anything. He's like, what am I going to do?
If I win, I'm going to hold it over you for the rest of your life.
I'm just going to make fun of you. Yeah. That's it.
But they are basically talking about how, the old man's just doing this for fun. And when there's like a certain point before midnight where this lady comes up to the homeless man.
But she walks past him.
She like goes over. She like hunches over first. Mm-hmm. And he falls to the side and she just walks away. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, damn.
Right. So so what's it? Ilnam?
Yeah.
So Ilnam's point is that people are inherently bad.
Yeah.
That was his whole point. He was like, no one's going to help him. So
why not, give the people who live like that an opportunity to, like,
make this shitload of money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And fairly treat them as equals.
Yeah.
And while it's reaching midnight, you see a cop car come up, and the same lady who had tried to see if the homeless man was okay had called the police.
And she got out of the car.
And right when that happened,
it hit midnight.
And the old man,
his plug was pulled, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, he was gone.
Yeah, and he passed away. And the last thing that Gi-hun says to him is like, bitch, I hope you heard your loss. Like, I hope you saw that loss of yours.
I don't think he did, though.
You don't think so? I think he did.
Mm-mm. I think he was like, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see shit.
Like, I'm already gone.
I think he wanted to die thinking that he was right.
Gi-hun walks away. And now he's like, what else to do,
So, okay, so he gets his hair done. He comes out with tomato red hair. And then he shows up at the orphanage. Mm-hmm. And he's talking to Saibek's brother. And he's like, wait, you knew my sister? Really? He was like, yeah, you look just like her. So he adopted her brother, and then he goes back to Sangwoo's mother. And he's like pretty much telling her, like, you can take care of him, right? Because he's going to go on a trip to America to see his daughter. Mm-hmm. And Sangwoo's mother's like, yeah, I love it. Like, I can take care of him. Like, yeah, she's excited because I feel like she's lonely.
Yeah.
And so Gi-hun is like kind of like, okay, she's going to take care of you. Good luck, whatever.
And gives like a huge
suitcase.
Yeah.
So he gives her his suitcase and he walks away. He leaves and she's like, oh my God, it's so cold. Let me get you a jacket. She opens the suitcase that's full of money. Mm-hmm. Literally full of money. And then it has a note that says like what I owed Sangwoo.
Yeah.
So she's like, what the fuck?
And she tries stopping Gi-hun, but he's like,
he's gone.
He
disappeared, vanished into thin air. Mm-hmm. So then he leaves. And so now he's at the airport.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's on the phone with his daughter and he's like telling her like, I'm going to give you the best birthday ever.
But while he's getting off like the train to get to the airport, mm-hmm. he sees the same guy,
Gongyu,
who played the first game with him where he was throwing the things on the floor and slapping him mm-hmm. for 100,000 won.
So he's recruiting someone else, pretty much. And he sees it from the opposite side. So it's like far away from him.
And they make eye contact. And
Gongyu smiles at him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, bro, I heard you got that filthy rich money.
And Gi-hun like runs over to them.
He drops all his shit. He's like, sprinting.
He runs over and he sees the guy who just won 100,000 won, and he's like, oh hell yeah, 100,000.
Yeah, but he's also holding the business card.
Yes, and
he looks at Gong-yu because Gong-yu's already in the subway, and he's like waving at him like bye. Mm-hmm. So he turns to the other guy and he takes his business card from him. And he's like, no, stay away, and
just leaves with it. He leaves with
the
it.
Business card.
So now he's at the terminal, entering where his plane ride is going to be.
Yeah, he's like heading towards the train, towards the airplane. You can literally see the airplane.
Yeah. And he takes out the business card and calls the number. And it's the same number as before. And they ask the same questions like
do you want to join?
Do you want to play the game? Tell us your name and your birthday. And he says it.
He says his name and birthday. I thought he would have said like an alias or something.
Yeah, but then they're like, player 456, please.
The front man is like, get on that plane. He's just like trying to push him to get on which is kind of scary because that means that he's being watched. Has he been watched this whole time? Maybe.
Or tracked. That's weird.
So,
because they're probably curious on how he's spending his money.
He's like, bitch, not even using the money. But okay, so Gi-hun is walking towards the plane at first, but then he's like, nah. And then he makes a whole freaking U-turn and he starts walking back. And that's a wrap. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. How long did that take?
It was probably like fucking
what time
3 hours.
Yeah.
We are at the end and
and I'm tired and I haven't seen my family.
I haven't seen my family in a week.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, Squid Game ended. How did you feel when
about
it ended?
the ending?
Yes.
Okay, so at first I was unsure. I had a feeling that it was going to end this way, but it made me feel uncomfy when the front man was like, get on that plane. Just get on that plane. Because at first I was like, yeah, maybe you should get on the plane. Yeah. I don't know. I'm scared. Because he's obviously being watched. Mm-hmm. I am assuming he's being watched. Mm-hmm. I think there's cameras everywhere. You know, like Big Brother. Yeah. That's what I think anyway. And when he decided to go back, I was like, oh, man, what if he doesn't survive, though? Then he's not going to see his daughter.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Do you think he's going back to play?
I don't think you can play. I don't think you can play again. I feel like he has to infiltrate the way that Juno did.
Yeah.
So which, if Juno's still alive.
I loved the ending.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
Like, as soon as he turned back, I was like, ooh.
You were like,
these bitches don't know what's coming for him.
Yes.
He's gonna freaking help as many people as he can. I really hope that Juno is not dead because I hope that they work together. Mm-hmm. But I was satisfied with the ending that he does not want it to end there.
Yeah, no, I was satisfied too. I really liked the ending too. I was scared that it was going to end in a way that it would be like, oh, well, great. You have all this money, but all these other people are fucked. So
yeah. And then it ends like that.
It's like, that sucks. Mm-hmm. But I feel like from the beginning, even though Gi-hun was in so much fucking debt, he's still kind of like, I think he was still kind of a good person.
He was.
Even though he was, like stealing his mom's money, but like,
But he still had a kind heart. He cared for his mom when she started to get sick because he realized that he was taking her for granted.
Yeah.
And he cared for his daughter. And, he was just in a rut. He was in a tough place. I just feel like if there is a season 2, I don't know if they were confirmed yet for a season 2.
I think it was.
But if there is one, I feel like I hope he gets the satisfaction of ending the game, or even if he puts himself back in it. So the VIPs, I don't know, kind of like Hunger Game-ish, where it's like, oh, get all the winners,
oh,
so then
right,
the freaking front man can be in there.
Wait, that would be cool.
Yeah,
I would like that.
That's what it feels like.
I would like that. I would really enjoy that.
He'd be fighting viejitos though.
Oh shit, sorry. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but they did say that I think it has been confirmed because I did read on Twitter, or I think it was on BuzzFeed, I don't remember. Squid Game has been everywhere, so it's kind of hard to keep track where things are coming from. But it was revealed that they wanted season 2 to focus more so on the front man and his brother. So I feel like what I'm guessing, if there is a season 2, I think they are going to go back to how he won the game and why he's even there to begin with.
Damn, that would be a good season 2.
What if speculating here. What if he's there? Like, what if they're like threatening his family? Like, what if they're like, if you don't stay here and be the front man, your brother, gone, dead.
But his dad's
Gone.
there too.
Who's dad?
His dad, who's in the games, or viejito.
Who's dad?
Isn't the viejito? Okay, wait. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Cut that out.
It hasn't been confirmed who the son is.
But their names both have. All of them had il.
What? Mind blown.
Didn't they? Yeah, no, because he talks to the host. He's the dad. Well, there's a lot of speculations on who he's related to because there's.
I know there's like 3 people.
Why don't we?
Wait, let's. Okay, before we talk about theories, because there's 1,000 of them. Let's go through what you thought about the show overall.
Overall,
not just the ending, just overall.
Overall, I ended up really liking the show. I did not think I was gonna like it that much. I did go in with a few already biases because. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about the show, and I hate,
I know.
But it's like, I really hate when people watch things at face value. Like,
yeah,
but I don't want to gatekeep because you can like whatever you want, but it kind of like hurts me because I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this with you, but
it's like you don't see it the way that I do.
Yeah,
and it's like people just get deeper and deeper and deeper into it. But, I mean, it's totally fine if you want to see it as surface level.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that I feel like this show is worth so much more. Like the recognition that it deserves should go into like how much thought they put into their show.
Yeah. Like, for example, like I think that people don't realize that they didn't really have a choice. Even when they went back home on episode 2.
Yeah.
You realize that their home life is so sad.
Yeah.
They don't really have a choice. It's like it's an illusion that they were able to go back home because they realized, oh shit, my life fucking sucks. So, and I think that people don't really realize that because I've seen people say, well they decided to go back. It's like, well, you don't really get to decide when you're in this much fucking debt.
Yeah.
And if
debt ruins a man.
And a woman too.
Yeah.
And if you realize they all were in debt for different reasons. Like for example, Gi-hun, that wasn't even her debt. That was her dad's debt. And I mean, I think it's easy to forget that your life can change so quickly. It can literally be a car accident and your life will change.
Yeah.
Even with COVID, whether you believe in it or not, even with COVID, like people have been hospitalized, and because they were hospitalized for however long
are now in a debt.
They're in hella debt. Like I've read stories of people being in like hundreds of thousands of dollars to $1 million in debt. And it's crazy and it's scary.
Yeah.
It's like your life can change so easily and so quickly. And it's like, I think it's easy to judge. Like, oh, well, how did you get there? Mm-hmm. You must have done something bad. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you don't understand how easy it is to be here.
Damn.
It kind of reminds me of like school and like grades. Like how easy it is to go from an A to an F and how hard it is to go from an F to an A.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
That's how it feels. I just get really sad when people are in debt because I know how hard it is to get out of it.
Yeah.
Freaking, it's not. Because everyone has different circumstances, like you said. It's just saddening when it's like a circumstance that you couldn't control. Or a circumstance that you fucked up, kind of like Sangwoo, but you can't really do anything about it now.
Because I'm pretty sure he probably tried to get himself out of the debt, but it just kept going back in.
Yep.
That's probably what happened with him. And it just
sucks. What were your overall thoughts?
I really loved it. And it's so funny to me because I was, when my brother and I, sometimes we like hang out, like siblings.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's like siblings do. Anyway, we saw this show because it was like on the top. I think it had just been released. And we were like so close to not watching it. I'm so glad that we did. But he and I, we were both so into it. And you know what? Sometimes side stories don't really interest me that much because I just want to know about the main character.
The main ones, yeah.
So when the whole like Juno thing was happening, my brother and I were like, damn, this is juicy. Damn, this is good. It's like really interesting. I really loved it. And I think that when I finished watching it, I could not stop thinking about it. I swear to you, for like a week. It was like in my head the whole time. I was like picking up different things every time like I would think about it. And then at that point, people were getting into it. So then they would like highlight different parts of different episodes and like, what if this connects to this and then this connects to that? And it's like, damn.
But why don't we talk about theories?
Okay.
You have a lot.
I have a couple.
I have a couple too. There's the obvious one that I've heard like everywhere, which is when the first guy came with the luggage and the flipper. Yeah. With the two colors. It's like, okay, what color do you want to choose? And it was between blue and red. Mm-hmm. It was like choosing if you were going to be a player.
Or a guard.
Yeah,
since Gi-hun chose blue, people were like, what would have happened if he would have chose red? And it was like, maybe he would have been a guard. Yeah, I've heard that one a lot too.
Well, how do you feel about that one?
I really loved the thought of that. I was like, damn, can you imagine? Because it reminded me of that prison experiment.
That's what I thought of the whole time I watched this show. Uh-huh. Damn.
I thought about that too. I was like, well,
you want to explain that?
It's the Stanford prison experiment, right? Where it's basically they just took like these regular ass people and they randomly assigned them like, you're going to be a guard, you're going to be a prisoner. And people took their roles so seriously that it became real. Yeah,
they started acting like prisoners and they started acting like guards.
Yeah, exactly. So
it felt like that. And I feel like I can see that theory being real.
Mm-hmm. I can see it too, but when somebody else pointed out that when they were showing like the videos, they were like, well, you can see people did choose red. So it's like, well, are they there or are they guards? I don't know. Like, where are they?
One of the guards is like, that's me. I'm a dead bitch.
Thanks, guys. I hope they do explain more about the guards though, because I'm very curious.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, there's a lot of theories surrounding Il-nam's character. And who is his son? Yeah. Because I've heard about I did not hear about
I just assumed that because they both had Il in their name. And also the old man was talking to the front man and he was like, I want to be in it. But it kind of felt like,
sorry.
Dad, no.
Dad. God, Dad, you're so embarrassing.
That's what it felt like. So that was my assumption. It wasn't that I read it anywhere. I just assumed it.
Oh, I did not even think about that. Yeah. No, I read that people assume that he is Gi-hun's dad because there's a scene where they're feeding them, where Gi-hun is given milk and bread. And
he doesn't want to drink the milk.
He doesn't want to drink the milk because he's like lactose intolerant or whatever. I don't know. And Il-nam is like, oh my God, I bet you were spanked a lot like as a child. And he was like, how'd you know? And Il-nam tells him that, because my son is really similar to you. He tells him that, my son is really similar to you. Mm-hmm. But there was another thing that they pointed out was that the birthday was his
24th.
I don't think it was the 24th. But Il-nam said that it was around the 24th, no? Because he said, my son's birthday is like a few days from now. And is today the 24th? It's like, I don't know. Like their birthday is kind of connected. I didn't actually do the research though. I was just kind of listening to what other people were saying. And they also pointed out that on the Marbles episode, they both said that, we lived in similar neighborhoods like this. Mm-hmm. So the people who are bringing out this theory are assuming that the only reason why Il-nam never revealed himself as his dad was because he was battling the dementia.
Damn.
But then there's other people who are assuming that he made this entire game to find his son. And I'm like, I don't know about
that. How are you going to find your son? I know my son's going to get in debt. I just know it.
He broke. I don't know. I mean, I like this idea. I really do. But I just feel like he would have told him, you know? Yeah. I just feel like he would have told him at the end, like, by the way, I'm your father. You know?
What else? What else have you seen?
Okay, so this is from a Redditor. I saw this from Screen Rant, by the way. So they just like compiled a bunch of different theories.
Yeah.
And so this is from a Redditor known as I Actually Know Nothing. Love that for you. And they speculated that the plane that Gi-hun was about to aboard was actually intended to blow up. And it was foreshadowed in a conversation between the VIPs and the frontman, where one of them says, rich or poor, in a plane crash, you are all the same. Which would make sense why the frontman was like, get on the plane, beach.
That's scary.
That is scary.
Do the winners actually get to like...
I don't know. I mean, the front man did. What if they don't, though? Like the other ones?
Yeah.
The other winners? Maybe they don't get to enjoy their money.
Oh, that's scary.
Okay, so another thing that they pointed out was that the dorm where they were staying, you know how the beds were all stacked on each other?
Yes.
So the reason why they look like that was it was intended to look like a warehouse, kind of like a store where you're selling product, so that the humans would look more like objects rather than humans.
I wouldn't be surprised with that.
Yeah, no, I think that's what the
intention.
Creator, yeah, I think that's what the creator said was the intention.
Yeah, that's horrible.
But like, I like the touch, you know, like the thought of it.
Yeah,
it's sad, but you know, he really thought this through.
Can you imagine? I know we already said it. Can you imagine being the one that slept on top?
I would hate it. I'd be like, bitch, why'd you put me on the top?
I have to climb up a whole ladder to get up there.
I'm already playing a game. So I don't know if you read this one, but I don't know who originally said this, because I've seen it in a couple of different websites now, where episode 2, Hell, revealed how everyone was going to die. So Gi-hun, let's talk about Gi-hun first. So Gi-hun swears on his mother's life when he tries to convince Sae-byuk to let him off of so when they're like thrown out of the van and they're both like tied up, Sae-byuk gets free
and says, I swear on my mother's life that I won't ask you about the money.
Right, because Sae-byuk was the one who stole the money in the beginning. Whatever, details. And he actually tries to go after her, so that means that he didn't even care, right? Or he didn't really think anything.
And his mom died.
Right, exactly.
Damn.
So Sangwoo was about to end his life, and the way that he died was he actually did end his life. He pierced his neck with the knife. And Sae-byuk, when she was arguing with that one guy about trying to find her mom, she throws coffee on his face and then she puts a knife to his throat. So when Sae-byuk was arguing with that guy to try to find her mom, she throws coffee on his face, and I don't know if you remember, but she like puts a knife to his throat, and she's like warning him pretty much that you better fucking find her, because I already gave you my money and I'm gonna somehow find money again to basically give him. So that's alluding to
how she died,
how the way that Sangwoo stabbed her throat. And Deok-soo, when he was running away,
jumped off the bridge.
Don't interrupt me.
I'm sorry. I'm like
rude ass.
I'm so interested. I'm like, keep going.
Anyway, when Deok-soo was being chased around, the way that he got away was by jumping off a bridge.
Yeah, and
that's how he died. It was because Minyo fucking pulled him from that bridge, and they fell off the bridge together, which kind of romantic. So, and then Ali, which was the last one. Remember how he was like he stole the money? So they were basically saying how him stealing that envelope was the same as him finding the marbles and finding them to be the fucking rocks.
Damn.
I was really impressed.
Damn. Who sits here and is like, this is all going to come back. Write it down.
No, I think the person who realized that said they were watching it again.
Okay.
And they were like, whoa, wait a minute.
God. That's crazy. That makes
me sad. I'm like,
oh my God.
Damn.
Did I ever tell you? Because that reminds me of Final Destination. Because, I mean, obviously, duh. Yeah. Final Destination was like the main thing of my nightmares when I was a little kid.
Why?
That freaked me out. Like, because, you know, a little kid, when you hit that existential crisis a little too early.
Oh my God, me.
And like the idea of knowing how you're going to die.
Oh my God, yeah.
Even though they didn't know, the fact that they lived it once
was like freaky.
Oh, that's scary. Hell no.
Those are my theories. Or whatever.
Why did you mention about at the end when I was like, oh, Gi-hun dyed his hair red?
Oh, thank you. Okay, so actually the creator, which I believe his name is Hwang Dong-hyuk, he actually released a statement on why he dyed his hair red. He said that the reason why he dyed his hair red was to represent his anger. Was because, I'm assuming, because he was grieving. So,
hell yeah. And he got a morning cut. That's what you get after you're done mourning. You're like, I'm ready to move on, bitch. That's what you get.
Right, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So he was moving on to the next stage of grief, which is anger.
God. Oh, hell yeah. Ooh, he's about to fuck some people up. I'm so excited for this second season.
Oh my God. I am too. I'm really, really excited. I can't wait. And I'm so glad that this show is getting the recognition it deserves. Because I feel like he really thought this through.
Yeah. How would you rate this overall?
That's hard.
It is hard.
I feel like I'd give it a 5 out of 5.
You would.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think about like other shows that I've enjoyed, and I feel like I enjoyed this one a lot more. And then there's like so many layers to it. It's kind of like an onion, like.
Have you ever given anything? Okay, first of all, I come up with the Shrek quote.
It took you a while, but okay.
Have you ever given anything a 5 out of 5? Is this your first?
Banana fish.
Oh my God.
Maybe there's a theme here.
I know.
All the angsty shit.
I think I would also give it a 5 out of 5.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, because I did not think I would like it this much.
I didn't either.
And I don't know if you've ever watched Cloverfield.
Yes, I have, unfortunately.
We're going to have some words after this because I really like Cloverfield.
Wait, Cloverfield, you mean the movie?
Yeah. Not the show.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I do remember that. Is that the one where there was a rat at the end? Do you remember that?
There's a lot of movies at the end.
But
Mousetrap, Ratatouille.
No, but it's like significant though. Like
it's you know what? I'm probably not even thinking about the right movie. Isn't Cloverfield the one where this lady is basically kidnapped and put in a bunker, and then they tell her like, oh, you got to stay down here.
There's a virus.
There's a virus up there, and it's going crazy. And it's her trying to get out because they don't believe the guy that there's a virus out there. And then when they get out, there is a virus, and she's like, "Oh shit."
You know what? I feel like I barely remember this. So you know what? I take that comment back.
Now we can't do an episode on it. I said it in like 5 seconds.
Well, there's more details to it.
But the reason I bring that up is because I, throughout the whole movie, was not interested. Like, I did like it. It was interesting, but I was not, like, hooked. Up until the very end when she, like, was driving to, like, where they said the sanctuary was going to be.
Uh-huh.
And she turns and looks at a town that looks like it's falling apart. Mm-hmm. And she decides, like, I'm going to go help them because I don't want to just run away.
Damn,
and she goes to help them. And that reminded me of how Squid Game ended. And that's why I give this a 5 out of 5. Because I love it.
I feel...
They're just so caring.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely prefer this approach over him just fucking accepting his money and being like, all right, bye.
The fact that he also maybe could have died in his airplane.
Maybe, possibly.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Damn.
I know. It's scary. It's scary to think that maybe they are just watching all of the winners afterwards. Because I'm pretty sure he's probably not the only one that wants revenge.
Yeah.
It's been going on for how many years? There's no way he's the only one that wants revenge. One more thing I wanted to bring up. So when Gi-hun goes back home and finds his mother dead, it reminded me of the ending of Would You Rather.
Yeah, we watched with you. Did we watch it together?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Where it's basically the same kind of idea where they play these games to make money and the main character is doing it for a certain reason, and it's like at the end it's like, well, damn, never mind. Mm-hmm. Doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, because at the end the reason that she wanted died.
Yeah.
So it's really sad.
It's really sad.
It's really sad because that's like your whole reason and you did all these horrible things.
Then it doesn't amount to anything anymore.
Do you think... Yeah, because in Would You Rather, she did a lot of horrible things. Mm-hmm. But do you think Gi-hun has any... Because he didn't really kill anyone. I don't think he did.
I don't think so either, but I feel like he feels the weight of literally everyone's death because he won.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks because I agree with you when you said that you would feel bad to spend the money, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they're dying in vain if you don't spend the money. Because it's like they didn't die for anything then.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Because, okay, what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the ending, there's a lot of people who did not like that he waited a year because they feel like it was selfish.
Of him to wait?
Yeah, of him to wait. And not only that, but also him deciding to go back into the game or go back to the island and not choose his daughter at the end. Because when he was talking to Sae-byuk, he was saying, like, I just want to be a better dad. That was his goal, right? But things change, you know?
Things change. And they also have to realize, for everyone who's saying that.
For the 3 people.
I just feel like his year break, I mean, that was a lot of shit to take in. Mm-hmm. Everything that happened. And it happened in the span of like maybe a week.
Yeah. And there's no expiration date to survivor's guilt.
No, like, there isn't. Everyone mourns differently.
Exactly.
And he lost a lot of like good people.
Potential besties.
I know.
And Sangwoo, who he grew up with.
So just like, you know, he's been through so much. So of course he's going to feel survivor's guilt. Mm. And I feel like him going back is more of a like, it's not like he's addicted to the game or anything. You know, he's going back with reason now.
He's going back with a purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck
a dog's
this.
Purpose. We changed the episode now.
What did you think about Sangwoo?
And
him as a character.
Remember, we went to the gas station earlier. Mm-hmm. I was like, are you a Sangwoo apologist? And you were literally like...
I was like, I mean, listen, Linda. I mean, I'm not an apologist, but if I was in the game, maybe.
I just feel like... Because in the context of the show, you're not supposed to like him.
No, you're not supposed to. But,
like, you also have to understand that this like, experience that they went through brings out the worst in people. Because stress brings out the worst in people. And the best in people. So it's like, you can't blame him for wanting something that everyone else also wanted. The fact that he was able to manipulate certain things, if anyone had that opportunity, they would do the same thing because they were all on the same freaking ride. Position. They were all doing the same thing. So I just feel like he gets a bad rap because, I mean...
Ollie, I feel it, though.
I feel so bad, but he just wanted to win. He wanted to get out. Everyone wanted to get out.
Exactly. And I feel like it would have been unrealistic if there wasn't an opportunist, you know?
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't a manipulator in the bunch, it wouldn't be realistic.
They say that when you're put in a group, there's always one person who tries to lead, you know? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about Sangwoo's character really quickly.
Okay.
Because we already established we love Sae-byuk. By the way, every time she came on screen, I was hella drooling for her. I love her. And we love Ollie, obviously.
Yeah.
Gi-hun, you loved from the start. I grew to love him.
Okay.
Sangwoo, though. Okay. The ending. The fact that he offed himself so that Gi-hun would 100% win the game. Do you feel like that was selfish or selfless? Think about it.
That's such a sad thing that he did. It's sad. But I do feel like, gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Because at first, my first initial reaction was like, oh my God, this guy, of course he wants to make sure that, I guess it's not really a mean thing, but like, you know, I guess the way that I thought it was like, of course he doesn't want the money to go to everyone who's died. It's
more like, oh, give it to my mom type of thing. Because he knew that one of them was going to make it out. And it was, of course, going to be Gi-hun. Mm-hmm. It is kind of selfish. Because at the end, he did it for the money.
Yeah.
Dang.
But then he kind of did it for his mom, too. Because he was like,
but he did it for them. Like he like you said, he didn't.
Mommy?
He didn't really care about anyone else. Honestly, if he had been the one on offense and he had the upper hand, he would not have hesitated to win. I don't think he would have.
Even that part where Gi-hun was like, would you have thrown me off if he was in front of him for the glass game?
Yeah.
And Sangwoo was so offended. He was like, how dare you?
I know.
I think he would have.
He would have. But like I said, it's kind of hard to judge someone based on this situation.
Yeah.
Because they're thrown into it. So it sucks. They're acting out of survival. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you all for watching. Oh my god, I feel kind of like, you know, when you finish something really long and you're at peace and then you float away in a river or something.
In a river? I would think a sky, but okay.
I just want to say thank you for all of you who are watching on YouTube. If you want to leave a comment, please do. It really helps because of analytics. I don't know why. I'm not going to explain why, but it helps because of that. If you want to go ahead and hit that notification bell, because apparently it'll tell you when we do anything in our lives. So when someone sneezes or coughs, you can like comment bless you, and you know it's really nice. If you are listening to any of our audio forms, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, anything of that sort, if you can leave a review, that would be really kind of you. Even if you want to be like, damn, I'm a Sangwoo apologist. Fuck you.
Sangwoo was the best character. If you want to say that, that's fine.
Yeah,
I want to
go
hear
ahead.
it.
Yes, go ahead. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.